Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of November 7th, 2021. On the cover, we've got One Piece, got Luffy, we got Yamato, we've got something that I feel like is probably a spoiler. I mean, for me, because I'm super far behind on One Piece, and that's fine, because I'm probably going to get there pretty soon. I should probably tell my fiance not to look at the cover of Jump this week. But that is just the danger of being behind. Physically, like, because we're physically not in the same house right now, like, before we were doing One Piece reactions together, and I think I'm probably just gonna, like, we're probably just gonna do them separately now, / I don't know if I'm gonna do One Piece reactions, to be fair. Like, we'll see, because I'm, like, I could catch up and then just do it on stream, but I'm so bad with One Piece. But I do like One Piece, so this is actually something I do need to consider for now. Huh. Yeah, that's not something I was really thinking about. Like, I'd seen this cover, but I hadn't really thought about, what it meant for the channel, or I hadn't, like, properly looked at it. There's a lot here. But that's all, like, meta stuff that I don't think anyone's going to be interested in. Yeah, I'll have to talk with my fiance about that and figure out what to do. I'm actually I might do One Piece reaction. I don't know, like, if you guys have any thoughts about that one way or another, do let me know in the comments. Because, I mean, it would be insane for me to try and compile my previous reactions, because I did it for a bit in the magazine, and then I think I stopped when we started doing them together. But then, if I do them separately again, Anyways, let me pull up the chapter thing for a bit, because we have 5 things to do in the pre-recordeds, and I wasted a lot of time just, like, doing stuff IRL and also now, so we'll see if I squeeze all these in. I might move Choujin X to the live stream. Like, I put it here because I thought maybe, like, I don't know if my reactions are that good for it, but yeah, we'll see. Let's not waste time talking about it when we can just read the manga and take it from there. Next, we've got Black Clover, Chapter 312. Okay, so the Black Bulls have busted in. They're gonna save Yami. Well, some of them. Like, the B Squad is busting in right now. Like, we still don't have Asta around, so I imagine, I said last time, I'm pretty sure they're gonna fight, they're gonna get murked, and then Asta will come in along with, like Luck and maybe Magna. Magna, I think, is probably gonna sit out. So, I don't know, I mean, this is a shonen series, he'll get back up. He's pretty wiped right now, but I think he could still, contribute a little bit. But yeah, I think, like, our B squad's gonna fight for a bit, maybe for this whole chapter, and then next chapter, or like a chapter after that, then the A squad's gonna come in and help. Like, I could see it being B squad holds out, A squad pulls themselves together, and they're like, oh shit, okay, let's go save Yami. And then maybe they'll meet up with, and some of the others. Because, like, I don't think it's gonna be, yeah, like, it could, like, we don't have that many people left for the big final push. Like, this has to be, like, one more devil at least comes through, and then everyone fights it in a big ol' finale. Dante told me about you. There's plenty of fascinating magic here. And yeah, this is honestly really scary. Like, I really, really like that. Like, last chapter we got the big, his magic now works on things that are not material. Like, he can now dissect dreams. And that is really cool, because that does mean that presumably, like, any arcane stage ability can be affected by that. Like, anything that is weird and out of, like, what you would normally permit as normal-ass magic. Like, but then how far does it go? Like, if he were fighting the Wizard King right now, could he, like, dissect time? Or is that something where Julius would, not be, where he would be able to just do a hard stop? And then, like, what about anti-magic? Like, that's just a physical blast of energy sometimes when, like, when Asta shoots it. But, like, can he dissect the anti-magic before the anti-magic negates his magic? Huh, okay. So Rouge's power isn't working, and it's not like the tentacles are attacking Rouge and then, like, stopping it. Like, just, fate manipulation being applied to the house to allow it to, go in is, now not gonna work. So, interesting. Like, this is the kind of thing that would make me think that maybe, like, if you were fighting Julius, like, Julius would not be able to, like, stop time, because he can dissect the time. Okay, going back to Gray for a sec. Transformation can only change appearance. I've never seen anything like this magic. If I were going to name it, fortification magic. Aw, that's dope. Cause yeah, so like, yeah, this isn't a like she's turning these into like flowers that still have the same effect. It is a fundamental like, no, these are just harmless ass flowers now. And that is also interesting that like he can't dissect the fortification. Cause like right, cause yeah, like the way he phrased it is the moment I touch you, you're finished. So like he touches the Black Bull's like base, and then it stops working because he's already dissecting the faith manipulation there. But like I mean, even then, like I guess it's that these technically like this is technically not touching the stuff that's turning into flowers. Like it is fundamentally different. Like he could then push past the flowers, but that's not what it. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I forgot the Gray's. I completely forgot about Gray's hang up. Just shut up and look at me. It's been a hot minute since we've seen Ghost do something really cool. Ooh. And yeah, he does have 2 different types of magic now. And I do like the consistency of not just that he has gravity magic, but that like the spell he's using is specifically Presence of the Demon King. Like I feel kind of iffy about a lot of Black Clover magic, and so seeing like some level of consistency there does make me happy. It is a clear like, yes, if you get like if you contract with this devil and this devil is feeding its power into you, then the same general rules apply. Like your magic is fortified, and also you get their magic. It's not possible to change the properties of gravity. But then like, could you dissect gravity? What are the rules there? Okay, what's the plan? After half a year of research and training, I did it. I transformed poison into medicine. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because also, like, did he physically change his appearance? Now I can choose whose magic power I'm going to absorb. So, okay. Curse Worker's neighbor. Okay, I get it. I was confused because of like the way in which his his makeup was glooping. I was like, but okay, so he is like, he can touch someone who already has a curse and then modify that curse. That's really cool. Because yeah, that does mean that like anyone who has a like family curse can like he can't remove it, but he can make it more of a thing that'll work for you. I wonder if he could do something about the rose magic, like making it even stronger to the point where it is a fundamental. I mean, I guess it then raises the question of like, how strong, do you make like if you make your curse that work that well for you? At what point is the devil just going to go like, you know what, this is not what I intended. I'm taking it off. Like we're hitting a point where there is a captain of the Clover Kingdom who has a curse that is already something unbelievably powerful in her favor. But then on top of that, like if it could be pushed even further, then like what happens when she loses it? Like can she still imitate that type of magic, or is it a fundamental no, that was part of the curse, now the curse is gone, now you don't have it anymore? Oh, this is so cool. And okay. So never mind. I mean, this is kind of what I was saying was going to happen. B squad goes in, then A squad catches up. But I was expecting that to take a lot longer. Whereas, like, no, it seems like everyone's coming in. Also, I'm just a sucker for this kind of, coming in. Where every character gets a line, and it's like, it's so immediate. You're like, oh yeah, it's Magna, it's Luck, it's Asta. Oh, so good. Damn. Morris was his name. We've had him for all this time, and I didn't look up what his name was. I just kept on calling him, scientist. But yeah, it is actually real. I definitely thought he was not that he was going to be the final boss, but that he was going to buy enough time for the next devil to come through. And then that would be the final boss. But I was really expecting him to be a much more substantial mini-boss. It's honestly really cool to see him just getting murked. Give us back our captain. Oh, that looks so fucking dope. God damn, 10 out of 10. I mean, not a winning Shonen Jump 10 out of 10, but still 10 out of 10 for Black Clover. Black Clover is just so consistently fucking good. And since this is the, the A team coming in, I feel like we definitely have to then have the, we might get the lineup of, everyone together as they go save Yami, but I think we'll save it. I'm going to predict that, like, we'll still have shots where, a lot of them are in frame or whatnot. But I don't think we'll have the big "we are all the Black Bulls" spread until either they have Yami and then we see, him with everyone else, or, like, if Yami's being released and then he's looking at them and he sees all of them lined up side by side. Because, yeah, also, like, this isn't everyone. Like, we still need Noct. Like, we might do a lineup, actually. I could see the lineup being, like, here is almost everyone. And then, like, near the end of the arc, when they're getting Yami out, then Noct is also there, and then we can have the, like, for the very first time, all of the Black Bulls are now actually side by side. Because, yeah, it would literally... I was saying that, like, narratively. Like, this is the first time we have seen it. But it would also be literally the first time that has ever happened. Because Noct has just, not been around. Like, while everyone else has been, coming in. That's honestly a really cool idea. So, that's Black Clover. Fantastic. Good, good, good. Yeah, no real dilly-dallying. Oh, no, I didn't change any of the, chapter, or, like, like, numbers. So let me do that real quick. But I will, before I do that, put Black Clover right there. With that, let us move on to The Elusive Samurai, Chapter 39. Oh no, this Tokiyuki is too smug. Okay, that's Genba. Honestly, yeah, from the coloring, I think that has to be, like, that he's not wearing... I mean, maybe it is the mask. Like, up here it looked like flesh tone, so I thought it was that he was just wearing a big, like, face mask. Like a cloth one. But he could just be wearing a normal-ass mask. Like, what I thought was flesh tone here could just be the lighting here. It's the 1335 line. That's cool. But okay, Hawks, 1335. Okay. So yeah, these are our 3 battlefields. And it is... Yeah, okay, so it is also, like, more feasible for them to... I mean, like, they're gonna try and do it as fast as possible. So it makes sense for them to go, like, boop, boop, boop. And yeah, they can, like, realistically go through them really fast. I was wondering, like, is it going to be something where they have to, like, zigzag? Or, like, where they have to go through enemy lines? I mean, it depends on how far the enemies have pushed, to be fair. Like Kokushi's forces could be, like, right here. Like, they could, literally be... I mean, they're going to be physically there. Like, there's melee people there. Like, it's not all going to be archers. This is also such a wild thing to do. Like, to be just like, yeah, by the way, this is how it's gonna look like in the Sengoku period. Like, it's so far in the future that it doesn't really tell us what's going to happen. Like, just because the Ogasawara clan has this area does not mean that they win it here. Oh, that's so wild. Like, to put it in the manga as a clear, like, and by the way, this is what's going to be like 200 years. Like, that's something you can definitely just, like, look up because it is a historical fiction series, but it's, I have heard about this before. I also don't know I know there's no real proof for it. Like, it is fundamentally just a thing that people think about. But there's no hard, like, yes, if you don't nut, then you're stronger. If a warrior from Kamakura with more vitality than people have today stored up his desire all his life until he released it in combat, the result would be unimaginable savagery. That's so fucking cool. I don't know much about desire between men and women, but I've heard it's hard to resist. Yeah, same. This man is truly the warrior of No Nut November. Okay, how's it looking? That's 170 versus 300. This is 350 versus 500, and this is 280 versus 500. So these are all, like, uphill battles. Or rather, like, uphill defenses. Like, that's the other thing. Like, they're not trying to, like, necessarily win as in, eradicate the opponent's side. It is just a fundamental, we want to maintain our position. Sadamune's force is strongest, but we can hold him here for 10 days. Okay, also cool. Like, cool to know that, like, narratively, we shouldn't have to worry about at least this battlefield. Like, the question is just, like, what happens to the other two? Are they going to be able to win and then come down here in order to, like, do a big push? Or, like, win and then go to the, the final battlefield in order to do a big push? Or, like, are they gonna fall? Right, cool. You don't know that he is the elusive samurai. The samurai that fights by, running away. And okay, cool. So he has gotten better. He has a lust for survival. Hey, we even did the title drop. Like, we've had a bunch of times where they've called him the, like his group, the Elusive Warriors. But I think this might be the first clear Elusive Samurai. That is how I want female retainers to react to me. Kojiro's buds. Wild. Like, again, really wild. It's been a year. Ooh, okay, so I assume these are was it Falcon 1334? Hawks 1335. I got the year and the species wrong. From the ground, the Kokushi's right wing appears massive, but from the sky, it's clear they are spread thin. Charge and disperse them. The real threat is the left wing. Cool, cool, cool. So I wonder how he's reading them. Like, are the Hawks trained in order to, like, do specific maneuvers? Or is it just a, like, because they are looking at the enemy forces, they would, naturally move in such a direction in order to, like, properly look at them, and then he can use that to infer what's going on. Oh, so cool. Oh, he's from the Nezu clan. Yeah, I keep on thinking about all the kids as, like, not being connected to anyone, but yeah, like, we also brought up, we know, that Shizuku is, like, related to, what is his name? But like, she's of the Suwa clan. And okay, actually, really, really cool that we are doing a hard, like, yes, like, Tokiyuki has grown. He does understand his retainers. Like, he's not gonna, like, completely wear them out for comedic value. I'll mark the way with severed ears and noses to lead you back. Starting today, cover your face when you go into battle. You must devote everything to Yorishige-sama and the Nezu clan. And okay, like, right here, he's not actually covering his face. Like, he just, he has it as a band, and I assume he's going to, like, pull it down if necessary. But why cover your face? Like, his clan is clearly, standing with Yorishige, so it's not a, like, we can't let the enemy know. Maybe it's something where, maybe it is something where, like, they would know that he's, like, the heir to the clan or something. And so, like, he would be a target if they could see exactly who he is. I could see that being the case. Like, if one of his older brothers died, and so, like, he is now next in line to be the head. And yeah, he does genuinely look good like that. Okay, what's this field gonna look like? Oof. I've already lost. Oh no, what the hell is this? Oh no, oh no. Oh, I hate it, I hate it. But no, the fact that we haven't seen his gimmick, like, the fact that we haven't seen his gimmick, and that it seems like the enemy forces just came in and they're not really hurt, like, I have to assume this is a trap, right? Like, his move has to be, like, we let them destroy our fort in order to, like, lower their guard, and then we're going to assassinate them. But if that's the case, like, there's no way they would just not tell the Elusive Warriors that, right? I mean, never mind. It might be a, like, we don't want anyone to know, so we keep it top secret. Or even, like, like, I keep on saying this as if this is the thing they do every time. But in actual war, if you do that more than once, the enemy side's going to be like, we know that that's your thing. Like, that's your gimmick. So this might be just a one-time thing of they knew they couldn't hold the fort, so they intentionally let it go. Tokiwa's base was, like, they were the least outnumbered, though, right? Yeah. Like, they were 170 versus 300. Like, the number of enemies they had to fight is actually a lot lower. But, like, they also had fewer people. Like, that does open up the possibility of like, none of them died, they're just hiding or something. That's what I'm going for. I don't think they really got wiped. There's no way, right? There's no way. That is the Elusive Samurai. Really good chapter. Like, that ending, not what I expected. And this was a really cool way to, like, visit all three battlefields and make it feel impactful. Like, they're not just, like, running back and forth. We're not visiting them a ton of times. This seems like, whatever's going on here is going to be big. And, like, are the Elusive Warriors going to help here? Like, if their allies are in hiding? Or are they just going to go back to the second battlefield and say, hey, guys, you better nut up. A lot of enemies are going to show up. Because actually, like, this could be, like, if the Elusive Warriors meets, the rest of the forces, like, even if they did, like, lose and retreat, then it's still possible that they could do, like, this could be when Tokiyuki, like, leads an army for the first time. Like, it's not his army, but, like, this could be where they get the genesis of the, like, we attack by running away, and, like, attacking while running away. Like, I could see that being a good move. Because it could be, like, Yeah, I can totally see it being that, like, Ichikawa's forces are going to try and reinforce the Kokushi, but as they're doing that, like, they're also chasing the elusive warriors and, the rest of these forces. And they're, like, being whittled down until by the time they get to the Kokushi, like, these guys are, like, coming in order to, like, pincer move the Kokushi's forces. And, like, anyone from Ichikawa's side that still remains is, not enough to really swing the battle. Yeah, that's my guess. I think that'd be really dope. Shall defeat really come tomorrow? We shall see. That's the Elusive Samurai. Uh not as hype as Black Clover, but still really solid chapter. And also, slight edge for that cover page as well. It just looks great. Like, this is not a series where, like, this is very standout, just because, like, we have so many metaphors in universe, or, like, metaphors in the normal text, where we see the characters, like, in modern dress. So it's not, like, that standout, but it still looks really, really good. With that, let us move on to The Hunter's Guild, Red Hood, Chapter 18. The final chapter, the battle is. So yeah, Red Hood's getting U19s. So, okay, before we go in, what do I think the ending is going to be? I mean, destroying the book makes a lot of sense to me. Like, a fundamental, like, this will not destroy the world. It will just, like, I'm just going to, like, free the world from the tyranny of of the Hunters Guild. And now the Hunters Guild will be what I thought it was from the start, which is this force that will fight for humanity, as opposed to, like, composing these fights. Like, now we're on an even playing fields. It could also be like, I'm just gonna rewrite the world to make it better. Last chapter I did have, the big one of, like, if the series was super ballsy, they could go for a hard, like, no, our series is getting fucking canceled. Like, in universe, the readers don't want it anymore. Or, like, I'm going to, create an end. I mean, like, that would come hand in hand with the mayor winning. If the mayor was just like, let it end, and then we just hard cut to, like, a blank page at the end. But there's no way that's happening. Like, this is still a shonen series. I could see, I think it would be really ballsy if a mangaka ended it with, as a protest against Shonen Jump and against the series being canceled, I'm ending it on a hard, this is a bad end, the heroes didn't win because the series got canceled. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be more of a, like Valu has the power to destroy the book, so he chooses to destroy the book, and the mayor's like, yes, let the world come to an end. And then Valu's like, no, this is not the end. This is just an unwritten world. And now our stories will not be seen by the readers. I think we'll still have to have that meta aspect. Like, fundamentally, the series has had that, like, it's been there since the start. There's no way we're not doing the meta level, like, the readers. But I think it is going to be and the story continues, but you, the readers, don't get to see it, because Valu canceled the series. Wonder, why am I here? Again, yeah, I said this last chapter as well, really, really hoping that she, like, manages to pull herself together or get, like, rewritten, because it's the final chapter. It would really suck if the series ends and, she's just on the sidelines going, duh. Sorry, my brain got erased. Cinderella, can you use your magic to force my clock forward? Yeah, the world's ending. Like, this is really not the time to worry about your longevity. And yeah, like, Cinderella doesn't... I just realized, like, saying the name out loud... I was gonna say, like, it just doesn't really make sense that she could, do time magic, because her thing has been fire, and that's been very, like, consistent with, like, her being the one who, like, cursed Debonair. But she is Cinderella. Like, they're going to do I will make the clock strike midnight thing, right? I wonder if we'll have any, if we'll get a big reveal about the first Red Hood. Because, like, it seems like whoever they are just, here writing the book. But, like, why is the Red Hood so important? Like, why is this a fight in which, the second Red Hood is trying to destroy the world? Like, why is Grimm important? Like, the series is called Red Hood. And it could just be the Red Hoods happen to be very important in the story, but, like, is there gonna be something else? If I die right now, what happens to the power in me? Big suicide ends. Your death may erase the power, but it also may not. The power could remain, continuing to rot the world away. Yeah, what's your choice, Valu? Like, you have, like, he fundamentally has this power to unravel narrative. Like, how do you do that here? I feel like there's gotta be some way in which he can unravel the narrative the mayor created. Right now, in this entire world, you and you alone can make whatever choice you wish. Happy ending or a tragic one. What sort of ending do you want for the story? Like, we could just hard cuts to, and they all lived happily ever after. That's also completely possible. But actually, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because, like, we did set up last time that, like, they've tried that in the past. It does not work. Like, you have to slowly push the narrative to where you want it to go if you're using the power of the book. Like, Blue's anti-narrative ability is fundamentally not that. He's gonna pick up the whole dang island. God, I'm so glad the Debonair is in the series. Like, she is carrying it. She's been so goddamn cool so consistently. And, like, part of that is, of course, like, you know, it was foreshadowed. Like, Grimm being less and less cool is, you know, tied to her, like, existence being eroded. But still, like, it still sucks. Like, just from a writing perspective, like, from a fan perspective. So I'm so glad that she is, you know, like, Debonair is around to, like, carry that weight. Gotta let them shine. They didn't win. Yeah, they didn't survive the Chunin exams for nothing. I'm really, really happy that they're getting a little time to shine here. That is so dope. We're hunters now. Okay, so we didn't see Valu's answer. I mean, it can't be. I mean, he is someone who breaks narrative. There's no way he got a binary answer and was like, yeah, I'm choosing one of those. So I think it's gotta be like, it has to be, and the story goes on. It has to be, I'm going to break it all apart. I don't want us to be tied to a specific narrative. Even if it's not a good ending, or like, even if it's not a satisfying ending, we're not, you know, like, we're gonna keep on going, or we're gonna have more and more endings after this. Oh, I'm so happy that we get to see her, you know, one last time. Your transformation will end when the clock strikes midnight. Of course. Oh, it's a book gun. Oh, that's so fucking silly. I love it. I wove your power together with the book to create a magical rifle. If you can fire that into him, the two negating powers will cancel each other out, stopping the end of the world. This seems very convenient. Are we gonna see what they look like? I assume probably not. Like, I doubt their physical look would be important. This is just the big, like, Valu, now you are the Red Hood. That looks so dope. If you do kill me, all that will remain is a world with no guiding scenario. Do you truly believe anyone can be happy in a world like that? So that's how we're doing it. Like, I definitely thought it was going to be... I mean, he might still blow up the book. But I guess no. I guess we are going with the hard, if the book is destroyed, that is actually the end of the world. But then... No, if he's dead, then why would there, like, why would, you know, you have a world with no guiding scenario? Like, if the book still exists, then why wouldn't they be able to just continue writing in it? Oh, I do like the sentiment, though. Everyone's the main character of their own story, and they'll all each their own individual ending. No one will know what kind of story it was until it's over. And yeah, like, it's the most shonen ending. It is the big, like, everyone gets to choose and you don't get to decide whether it's good or bad. Just because you know, have seen this tragedy, or just because you've existed in this world and you've seen how, you know, bad it can get, does not mean that you get to take away everyone's lives. And that's a good way to express that. I don't want any ending, happy or sad. Like, it is just an anti-destiny narrative. Yeah, it's a little contrived, like, both the, like, you know, in order to, like, fix everything, we're going to kill the mayor, and then also the mayor at the very end going, like, oh, if that's the case, I feel much better. Like, getting back into that Geppetto energy of, like, well, I guess he truly did care about Valu, and, you know, he does want to see Valu live out his own individual life. But at the same time, like, I get it. It's hard to, like, fully put together an ending like this in this kind of circumstance. Also, actually, I guess I did, like, misunderstand it a little bit. Like, it is a... The two negating powers will cancel each other. I still don't get how that, like, ties into attacking him. Because Valu has the ability to destroy, like, you know, he's the one who's unwriting the narrative, right? Like, it's him and the book. Like, the mayor doesn't have an ability like that, right? Like, he's just magic, right? If I'm misunderstanding that, do let me know. Like, I get how Valu even, like, you know, just using the rifle, like, just shooting it anywhere would make sense to say, like, you know, I'm using the power to, you know, write fate and my power to unwrite fate together, and that's going to cancel it out. But like to me, that feels like logically that should mean that Valoo dies along with the book, not that the mayor dies along with the book. And okay, yeah, we are also going for the book is gone, and that means that the world is still around, but the book is gone. So yeah, and as long as humans are around, there will be more werewolves. I wonder how that works, like the vaccine thing. Like, how do werewolves work now? Like in a world without narrative. Like, do they just have to really hope that, like, in the current state of the world, that, it is possible for werewolves, for lycanthropy to be a disease, and therefore for it to be cured? Because, like, the way... I guess it is just a big, like, we'll see if, a vaccine will really work. We're gonna try. Like, we don't have a guarantee that this is gonna work. We can't do the, like... We can't write into fate that this is guaranteed to actually work out. We just have to actually try it. We have to actually take that fiction and turn it into a reality. Good end. Not great end. Not fantastic end, but for what it is solid. Like, it's not one of those canceled series where I would, scream at everyone like, you gotta check it out. Like, there's a lot of Red Hood that I'm iffy on. Or a lot of Red Hood where, like, especially early on, where I was like, this is pretty cool, but, like, this is the kind of thing that'll only be better in hindsight once we were, like, a bunch of volumes in. And then we did not get a bunch of volumes. And I can't put that on the mangaka. The mangaka did everything they could. So, yeah. I gotta put it below Elusive Samurai. It's a good series, and it's a series I'm also going to be thinking about a lot. Just because, like, just for how... like, clearly it put down its thesis statement, for how clearly it was, just trying to be a good Shonen Jump series. Like, fundamentally, there's nothing I can point to say, like, this is where the series fucked up, or, like, this was wrong. If I were, like, if someone put a gun to my head and said, you have to, run the biggest series in Shonen Jump history, I would probably go for a pattern very similar to Red Hood. Like, I might not be quite as fairy tale-y, but I might do a yokai series, who fucking knows? Like, I still wouldn't, like, go for, like, something that no one's ever heard of. I would definitely still, I would want to have that mix of, here are some, where I'm basing this on some stuff that people already know about, stuff that people are going to be able to speculate on really easily, but then also mixing in this, like, a very strong early hook along with this, like, ongoing mystery. Like, everything they did makes sense on paper. They just had the bad luck to... like, I don't know. Like, did the volumes do badly? I genuinely don't know. Whatever it is, I hope the mangaka, manages to parlay this experience into another really big series, and that they get another shot. Because everything about it was good. Like, the art was still great. Like, the storytelling shows that they know how to put together a good battle shonen. And, in another time, this could have been, one of the big pillars of Jump. I do fully believe that. Goodbye, Red Hood. You were good. And yeah, like, honestly, it's still going to be something I'm going to be thinking about. That's the highest praise I can give it. There's so many series that have run that I do not think about in the slightest. But I'm probably still going to be, like, referencing Red Hood in a year or two. With that, let us move on to Neru, Way of the Martial Artist, Chapter 17. A series that might also end this week. Who knows? I don't think so. Like, I don't know if, like, in all the time I've read Shonen Jump, if I've seen two different series end on the exact same volume. Or, like, same release of Jump. So, I mean, I think Neru might still be U19s, but it might end next week. And that would also kind of work a little bit with the, like, this is the school of the 18 martial arts, and it got 18 chapters. Okay, so we're seeing, we're seeing the other roommates. Oh, it was his porn! Got the secret lore about the porn. And also, right. I kind of forgot about Neru's mom. Like, right now I forgot about it. Okay, what's her deal? Okay, so she seems to be, like, some sort of, like, a stockbroker or something. Like, she's in finance. Not what I was expecting. You forged your acceptance letter. To here? He lied and said he got into Kagome Academy. Okay. So, yeah, so I guess what we're going for is, like, his mom is more into finance. I mean, still, I'm so messed up over the fact that he has a mom. That is the most un-Shonen Jump move of, growing up with your, single grandparents and then getting the reveal later, by the way, this person does have parents. But okay, so yeah, I'm guessing that her deal is, I don't want you to be a martial artist because that's fucking insane. Which I understand that. Like, it's a very unshonen like mindset, but as a like, person living in real life, I get it. Like, you're not gonna get rich being a martial artist. And you don't need to be rich. And I can definitely imagine, living with his grandpa. I get why he wouldn't give a damn about that, but I can see why she would. But then I wouldn't understand why he lived for so long with just his grandpa. Like, that's the big question. Like, what gives her the rights? Like, as a little kid, did he run away? Like, was he the one going like, no, I want to live with grandpa forever? Or like, did she abandon him? Like, how did that happen? Okay, so it's the family business. So Neru's dad is the son of the chairman of Isami Inc. Yeah, he has a dad. He's a tech, like, he's a tech scion. He's a corporate heir. That is wild. Because also, Neru's dad is the son of the chairman of Isami Inc. So that means that, like, the grandpa that is Neru's other grandpa. The grandpa Neru lived with had to be his mom's, like, dad. So, like, that adds more questions as to, like, how the hell did this happen? It's also actually very interesting narratively that, like, it is Neru's dad is the son of the chairman. Like, not that Neru's dad is the chairman. You'd better get that ear completely healed. We don't want your future business partners to raise their eyebrows. Why do you want him to do this? You want me to wear leather shoes? Leather shoes? I mean, I said that like as if it's insane, but no, I without even hearing about it, I understand her perspective. See, if I quit martial arts halfway through, I'll end up a hot-tempered adult. Now's the time to train my mental discipline. This is honestly so heavy. Like, the idea that, god damn. And like the fact that they've already shattered the windows. Like, it's so, like, even if she isn't a martial artist, which, I mean, she might not be, but then again, her dad is Neru's grandpa. Like, there's no way she grew up with him and didn't on some level, learn some martial arts, right? But yeah, like, if she was just saying, few martial arts compete themselves, that's one thing. But the idea of, like, her really digging into the sustainability of it, and the big, like, are you going to just mooch off of a family? Or, like, if you're going to try and be independent, like, are you going to manage to be independent while being a martial artist? Why are the men in this family so selfish? A son who rebels, a husband who's always on the road, and a father who doesn't even contact. She was lifting up the bed. Like, you could take this as her, like, putting it back. But no, she was definitely picking up the entire fucking bed to throw it at Neru. And I mean, Neru, like, I get how he's reading it as, I can't believe you knew, you were in contact with Grandpa and you didn't tell me. But I mean, from the way she's saying it, it's also like, yeah, they've both been cut off. Like, I doubt she could, like, try and find him now. Oh no! Oh, that's so good! God damn! Like, that really does recontextualize that whole, like, talk with him. I really love that. Like, I really appreciate how, like, for most of the series, like, Neru's been important, but, like, we've been fleshing out his side casts, and this does make a lot of sense to say, like, we can, like, at the time, we were fleshing out the side cast, and we were showing that he was empathetic, but then this works doubly to then, like, flesh him out. Such good storytelling. I remember you said you'd never let your kid do martial arts. And okay, so that's it. Like, she wanted to be career-minded, and so, like, it was the, like, even if she didn't fully see eye to eye with her dad, it was a hard, like, well, I can't raise this kid. I need my dad to raise him. And honestly, really strong sentiment there. Like, yeah, being a businesswoman is as much a rebellion as, like, Neru, being a martial artist. Like, I imagine that her talk with her dad must have been pretty hard. Like, her dad seems like the kind of person who definitely, like, he might respect her, but I doubt he respects, like, people who are in finance. Gonna go to a, like, family, like a family restaurant or something, get a burger. Now, just making some rice. On the rare occasions when we see each other, we always get into a raging fight. When it's over, she always makes me rice balls. Damn. Honestly, I really like this as, like, a sort of thesis statement for the series. Like, we were born in the wrong era because we're drawn to martial arts as an art form, not as a sport. Like, it is a fundamental, like, the point of going to this school is not to become a martial artist in order to make money and feed yourself. Like, if you hit the point of going to this wacky school and, going through the entrance exam where you have to, like, steal a headband from Ninja, like, it is very much not of the modern era. Like, anyone willing to do this, anyone who wants to be here is, like, not crazy, but, like, you have to be a martial artist. It is fundamentally, like, it's even separate from someone who does martial arts in their spare time, or, someone who is X things first and then a martial artist second, and that's still a completely valid part of your personality. But I can totally see the distinction there of, like, it's fundamentally very different from, like, taking judo classes as opposed to making your whole life being, I want to be a great judo warrior. Like, I want to spend all my time just getting better at this martial art or at this, like, weapon thing. I wonder where Neru's going with this one. Someone once told me that martial arts are skills for survival. I want to learn how to be a living testament to that legacy. That's what interests me, not the corporate worlds. And that's such a strong statement, like, from his mom. For his mom to be like, I didn't know you could smile. Like, she has never seen her child smile. I could never live in a self-locking building. It's too clean. I'd get hives. And, how does he address his mom? Like, we got it last chapter as well. Like, does he call her Hizuki-chan? Just want to make sure. I think he did. Okay, yes. Like, for how little we have gotten, like, for, like, 2 chapters of Neru and his mom, the last chapter being mostly the previous arc with, just, like, a little cliffhanger. Like, this really is that old Neru feeling again. Like, it really was just last arc that didn't hit for me, and that might just be that, it wasn't for me. But, like, this immediately feels like the previous arc again. Like, it just has that, that instant classic feeling to it. That, like, mix of, how would I put this feeling? Like, it is this mix of, like, philosophy and also, like, being in the wrong era. Like, Neru is not a throwback series, but it's still, like, it has that energy of, like, a martial arts series from the 80s or the 90s, but just unabashedly happening now, and not in a, like, we're going to show you technology, or we're going to show you what martial arts is like in 2020. Like, we're touching on that a tiny bit here, but that, like, the series has been... We were born in the wrong era really is the thesis statement of the series. I can't get over how perfectly that works. Yeah, last arc had me being kind of iffy, but now I'm right back to, I really hope this is not the ending. I feel like it is. And, like, that is funny to say, because, like, this is so unlike the ending of Red Hood. Like, Red Hood had the most, like, and now we're ramping up to the, the big final arc, the big climax. Whereas, yeah, this feels more like an emotional climax. Like, we're going to get I don't know if Neru's going to see his grandpa again, but I feel like we're going to end the series with just, like, Neru having a blessing from his mom and, like, being at school and just, like, understanding that his path is that he is going to be as good, like, the best martial artist he can be. Like, not even like, I'm going to be #1, not even necessarily. I mean, we could skip to him, like, have, in, like, a big fight with Jokoro. I could see that happening as a, like, we're going to, like, have him, in this combat, so we're gonna have him win, like, he's making steps forward. But that isn't actually how I feel the series is gonna end. Like, whether it's next chapter or the chapter after that, I feel like we're going to end it just on the note of Neru gets to be a martial artist, and the story continues on. Like, I think he's just going to be satisfied, but I don't think we're going to end it with a hard, and now we're going into this big fight, or, like, Neru made it to the top. Yeah, I gotta put this... I mean, I think it's better than Elusive Samurai, but is it better than Black Clover? I don't fully know whether I can say that or not. It's so wild. Like, to be fair, like, this is kind of like the Red Hood ending in how, like, how hard we are zagging. Like, how hard we are going from, like, this is clearly something that was thought up, since very early on in the series. It has to be. It fits so well. But it is the most, like, we didn't really foreshadow this, but we're just going really hard into it. Like, it is a big swerve in a sense. but it works so damn well. Like, it works so effortlessly. Whereas, like, Red Hood put so much effort into making its, like, big, final swerve work. And yet, it didn't give me this feeling. So I'm gonna put it above Black Clover. Yeah, before I overthink it, I'm just putting it there. All right, next we've got Choujin X and then Livestream. All right, Choujin X Chapter 12. Talent is a curse. It distorts your way of life. By the way, if you're curious, the reason why I'm not doing this on the live stream is just like, it's not that I'm not into Choujin X, it's just I haven't had that much to say about it. Like, if I'm doing something on live stream, I feel more prompted to talk at greater length. As if I don't talk at great length, during all of these. Are you Shiozaki? God, Synchro Choujin is so fucking cool. Oh, he made the smoke sink. Like, does her smoke have the ability to destroy the ground? Because that might still work to an extent. But I mean, yeah, like, it can't reach him because it's falling. So yeah, I guess it would just, like, erode the area around him. Oh, that's so wild. Like, yeah, she just can't hear him. And we don't really understand the parameters of his, like, transformation. Like, can he get himself out of here? Because, like, his transformation makes him bigger, but also, like, his bones are lighter. So he might not actually he might not have, like, the ability to then, like, push out of this. When Simon snapped that snake with a sword, she went back to normal. Oh, damn! That's really cool. So yeah, like, it doesn't have to be direct contact. Yeah, like the ball can be a sinker. And so, I wonder how far that extends. Like, if he hits a ball with his, if he hits a ball with the bat, and then the ball hits something, can he make that sink? Or is it just a, like, once he has hit the thing, it then sinks? Alright, he just swooped back out. It's okay, didn't have a problem with that. I'm going to call it the Tokyo Rockets. Oh no, oh no! There go all his fucking face bones. Okay, so the actual Yamato Mori troops are coming in. Like, I'm not worried about Ellie or Tokyo, like, getting into trouble. Like, I think this is still, fairly covered under self-defense. But okay, excited to see how they're going to deal with this. Okay, so Simon's the Sword Choujin. Before I was like, what is this? Like, is this some sort of, like, Hado from Bleach? Like, is this a different power sets? But okay, so no, I'm guessing then that, like, Simon is the Sword Choujin, and this whole sequence is just a way of controlling those Choujin powers. Like, it's something that works well in order to, like, do something super complex like that. Yeah, like, the sheer amount of control, and, like, the fact that, this is, like, hitting him with lightning. Like, it's so outside the bounds of what I would assume the Sword Choujin could do. And it's so, like, it's so controlled. Like, the fact that there's also, like, no full beastification implied, like, required for something this powerful. So cool. And what is her deal? Ah, Strength Choujin. I see, just breaking his neck. Is he dead? Oh no, oh no. I thought the design was already nightmarish, but no, it can get even worse. Oh no. I'm really hoping this eye stays stitched up. Like, I think the, like having this one be totally ripped open and this one being stitched up would look so dope. Like, if it was continuously like that. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Yeah. Not a lot to talk about, just a good chapter. Choujin X Chapter 12 goes... I'll slip it right below Black Clover. I think this Black Clover was better. And alright, that's that. See you for the live stream. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, homie. Oh, I should probably leave this area. Probably not be spoiling people on just the ending of a chapter. Also, actually, get my phone. I did make the cool power move of, like, plugging it in prior to jump. So now it has a full charge, and now I can look at the chats. Oh crap, sorry about that. I did the exact opposite of what I usually do, which is post in the jump chat, to give you guys an hour's notice, and then, go a bit over / like, I'll post at, like, 13:10, and then I do mean I'll start streaming at 14:10, but then, like, you know what I mean. I goofed up this time. Big apologies. It completely slipped my mind. And I promise that going forward, You'll have to notice again. This is not a change to the way in which this is happening. Oh, snap. Yeah, hopefully other people show up. Though we shall see. Because in addition to, is it still like that? Yes, it is. I'm doing Sakamoto first, but then after that, I'm doing the new series that isn't in Jump, right? Like, this got an update before Jump came out, so I assume this is like a Jump Plus series. I might flip those around, actually. Because I don't know how many people actually read this. I don't know. I mean, you're the only person here right now, so you can say which one you would prefer to go first. I will give you the tiniest bit of power. Oh, I didn't. The podcast is something that I gotta be in the right mindset to listen to, but I will, don't get me wrong. Also, just congrats on being able to stick with it for so long. It is... I can't say it's good, but you're doing it. And doing it is a close cousin to good. I see. You knew from the start it was never going to be good. While this is happening, actually, let me just make sure I am, in fact, streaming my content. Yes, I am. And chat is up. All is good. Yeah, I think I might just flip around. Yeah, I'm going to start with the non-jump series. Let me just flip those around real quick. Because I think it's also, like, the most niche thing. It's also something where, like, I don't know if I'm going to keep on reading it or not. Like, if it comes out bi-weekly, like, there's enough stuff already happening. Plus, like, Red Hood is canonic, it is over now. Neru, I don't know if it's ending, but it feels like it's ending. So I might have to do another wave of jump starts. I probably don't want to pick up too many more series as a, like, I'm guaranteed gonna do it every single week. This is already pretty stacked. So let me flip these over as well. We're getting 3 new series. Oh no! Oh no, that means that something else is getting canned as well. Like Red Hood and Neru. Neru then for sure is getting canned. But what else is getting canned? If I had to guess, like I haven't heard any rumblings. I mean, it's not going to be any of the big series here. Mashal, I doubt it. Like, I think this current arc of Mashal has been pretty good. It seems like people like Mashal. I never know what's going on with Yozakura. Definitely not Undead Unluck. Please no. Witch Watch was pretty good this week. I did read Witch Watch, like, not on stream or anything. Ooh. Let me pull that up, actually. I'll probably make this, like, an interstitial thing before I go into the next series. Like, we've been talking about it long enough. Oh, shit! Osaku again from Golem Hearts is getting a new series. I really liked Golem Hearts. What is this? Is this One Piece Party? Oh no, please don't print it. One Piece in Love? Wait a minute, what? I don't think I've ever heard about this one. Huh. Ooh, thank you, homie. Also, I do need to, like, just off channel, I gotta finish reading Jigokuraku. Jigokuraku was really, really good. Like, there's no reason why I stopped. It's not that I didn't like it, it's just at some point I kind of just didn't. I think it was, like, partially just, like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to catch up, and then the longer I put it off, the longer it got. Okay. I actually got quite a pedigree, surprisingly. Yara Daiki did One Piece Love, or, Koisuru One Piece. I can't believe I haven't heard anyone talking about this. And, like, it is currently published on Jump Plus. And Golem Hearts, of course. One of them is called Red Hood. The other one is of humor, I think, and the last one, I don't know the name or anything. Strong statements. I see trending we have crowd of migrants in Belarus, Nazis trending in Canada, Doctor Strange. Oh boy, Nazis trending in Canada is concerning. But let's not talk about that right now. Like, I genuinely don't know what's happening in regards to that. Yeah, of the 3, like, I'm still most excited for the Golem Hearts Mangaka's thing, just because I was super duper into Golem Hearts. Like, both the one-shot and the, like, serialization were really cool. Like, I just found them really, really, like, good traditional shonen. And I like Jigokuraku. And, like, there is this big gap right now in Jump where something like Chainsaw Man could be running. And I could see, like, Jigokuraku had a really good sense of when to do the occasional gag while being mostly serious and having, like, this very compelling, like, push forward. Yeah. The art style progression is also so cool. Oh no, I don't want it. I mean, I feel like a gag series has to be canceled now, right? Something's gotta be dying. Like, of them, it feels like High School Family will go on forever. Like, High School Family seems to have solidly put itself in its place of, this is just that thing that will never die. Magu-chan, I think of all the gag series right now, actually, Magu-chan is the one that I think is most likely to die. Because, like, I bump into it every once in a while, and it hasn't been great for a while. Like, it never fully had my sense of humor, but, like, the holding pattern for the last few volumes feels like it's just been put in another god of evil, and then figure out their gimmick, and then there's gonna be around. Like, we have so many of these, like, wandering around now. We're up to, like, 6 of them. Also not counting Paladin Boy, who, has, like, his own weird gag in that area. Like, it's so stuffed. Whereas, like, me and Roboco can't imagine that dying. Sakamoto Days is not a gag series, but I also cannot imagine Sakamoto Days dying. Yeah, so my guess is, like, Red Hood definitely gone. Neru, I'm guessing, is going to be gone next chapter, because also, like, this chapter had that vibe to it to me of, like, we're putting out a big twist that was meant to be, much later in the series, but we're doing it to, get back to the roots of what Neru was like, and do something very thematically interesting. And then my third death, I think, is going to be Maku-chan. Oh yeah, I should. Like, I did the like, this thing. Like, I did notify everyone with the @Thermite live streaming role, but I will also do the note and the jump thing. Because, yeah, you're right. That is what people are usually looking for. Okay. So, with that, there's still a fair buffer of, just new series. I haven't heard a lot of big hype over it, so I doubt people are going to be, like, super pissed off if they miss it. Slash, if no one, if everyone decided to do other stuff, also totally fine. It's all good. It is fine. So with that, let us move on to Show-Ha Shoten, Chapter 1. Literally all I know about this is that the artist of Death Note is doing this. Oh, wait. Okay, before we do this, of course, every single time. Gotta do it every time. Oh, I love seeing it updated so constantly. Anyways, so really pushing the, like, the tragedy of this, of the, like, my mom, I assume, is, remarrying, so I wish, we'd gotten to the point, while we were here, that you could use my first name and that we could have that level of closeness, but I'm moving away, so we can't do anything else. Since this is the last time we'll see each other, tell me something funny. That's a big ask. I mean, it's a constant thing I've heard, comedians talk about. Like, the big, I hate it when people walk up to me and they're like, hey, tell me a joke, because it's so, it's so hard to do that on the spot. I have that problem sometimes, but people don't find me funny, so usually I don't have to worry about that. Instead, the problem I have constantly is people coming to me and saying, like, hey, give me an example of a cool continuity thing from Marvel Comics. Or, hey, you've read, you're very into manga, right? Can you, give me an example of insert trope here? Like, that's what I'm more used to. The immediate, like, hey, who could, like, can you tell me a character from X-Men that could definitively kill Goku? And it's like, well, I don't know how to process this. I'm saying this right now to anyone who is watching this reaction. I'm not against that, but please, if you have a question like that, write it out, post it on the, on the channel, or post it in a comment thing, or, like, go to the Discord server, post it on the server, and give me, like, 24 hours. I don't need 24 hours, but to be fair, also, like, sometimes I will see, a comment like that, or, like, a thread of people discussing stuff, and I will spend, like, 4 hours figuring out what I want to say, and then by the time I say it, like, the entire conversation's already moved on. So give me 4 hours to respond to your meaningless question about who would win in a fight. This is a roller coaster. Like, he's not learning about this right now. I mean, I guess he is. Yeah, because he starts with, is it true that? So this has to be, she was walking home without saying anything. Someone else at middle school said, by the way, did you know that Yamamoto-san is, leaving because her, her mom remarried? And then he gets this he gets the, like, 1, 2, 3 punch of, I'm not Yamamoto-san anymore because my, I'm taking on, my new dad's name, or I'm taking on my mom's name again. And also, I am moving away, and also I want you to tell me a joke. Also, I liked you. That's really, that is an insane 1, 2, 3, 4 punch. Holy moly. Chapter 1, Comedy and Courage. So yeah, I also, I didn't say it at the very start, but I mean, all my information about the series came from this. So it's drawn by Takeshi Obata, and it's, it's about comedy. So is this gonna be Bakuman? Is this going to be the big, I've got another girl that I'm in love with, or I'm going to, like, I know that, the girl I liked in middle school is, still out there, but I can't go and confess to her until I'm number one in the comedy world. Hey, listen, it's not late if no one else is around except for Homie. Like, if you are number 2 there, then you're still number 2. It's fine. I don't know who Akinari Asakura is. Like, the name doesn't ring any bells, so I doubt I've read anything else by them. I am really glad that Oba isn't the one writing this, though. Because, boy, I hated Platinum Ends. Like, Obata's art has always been consistently good. Platinum End looks great. There are a couple of designs that are kind of but a lot of it is still fantastic. It's just the writing that I could not handle. And, like, for a series like this, like, this is really going to test this writer. Because this is a series about comedy. Like, not just a comedy series, but one in which they're going to, they have to commit the greatest sin of explaining the joke. I mean, was that ever confirmed? Do we know if Oba was, I mean, I remember during Bakuman, there was this big rumor that Oba was, like, a person who would run a gag series in the past. And so, like, part of the backstory, the uncle from Bakuman was implied to, be based on Oba's experience as a gag manga, writer. So I could see it happening. Okay. Gotta make sure it's not Oba again. I don't know if anyone can truly rule out the possibility. It's possible they've just lived an entire separate life in order to create a fictional version of themselves in order to write this comedy series. I wouldn't put it past them. But I've got very high hopes. Got sentenced to an hour and a half in prison. What did you do? I taught my friend's parrot a bunch of dirty words in Spanish. That's a really good one. Also, I do like the concept. I mean, I'm sure this is, like, a format that exists in real life, but I do really like the format of, we came up with a bunch of ideas for jokes, and now you can write in and give us punchlines. But that is so cool, like, building up this, like, level of popularity as a person who writes into comedy shows. I also just love this perspective. Like, when I think of a comedian, like, my general comedian in my brain is someone with an extremely sad life. Like, someone who just kind of is, constantly suffering, and then they manage to become a comedian by turning that suffering into comedy. And then, they go through the pipeline of, oh no, I'm getting less and less funny because my life is good now. I don't know if I've ever seen a series about, like, a comedian who works on comedy like this. Like, someone who is kind of a comedy nerd. And I see he's got to hide his love of comedy because, of course, I imagine his parents are not going to be into the idea of him being a comedian. Like, that's got to have as bad of a stigma as becoming a mangaka. Because also, all the Japanese comedians I know of are either, like, there's the Gaki no Sakai, fivesome, and they're all doing pretty well. But every other comedian I can think of in Japan is also, like, on the brink of poverty. Or even if they aren't actually on the brink of poverty, they always act like they are. But okay, so he said he wants to go into Tokyo U. And I mean, maybe he will. It's been 2 years since then. Now I can do it. Now I can say something funny. But I mean, is he going to do it here? Like, that could be the, the big move of this first chapter of, like, he gets some success in comedy and then he finally finds the girl he likes and says, hey, I came up with a joke. Listen to this joke. Yeah, there's no way we're doing a Bakuman. There's no way we're going to do 18 volumes of Show-Ha Shoten that end with him going to the girl that he liked in middle school and saying, I'm going to tell you a joke. Alright, it's got a text. I should probably not do that in the middle of a recording. But it was important. It seems like he doesn't have a whole lot of presence, which is also really interesting. Because, yeah, like, he doesn't have big bokeh or Sukomi energy. Like, I can't see him being mean, but I also can't really see him, like, being the goofball. He's too, like, his energy is too normie. Huh. Okay, so I assume this is going to be the other member of his duo, right? Like, I think it's gotta be, he's straight-laced, Higashikata is the class clown, and together they will be 10 times as goofy. Okay. So yeah, he just hasn't submitted anything. And that's such an easy, like, they'll go in together then. Like, they'll switch it from, a shitty, solo act to a hopefully not shitty Bokeh Sukomi act. Yeah. Obata knows how to draw, I mean, just generally good characters. Like, every character, like, even in, like, the student councils, like, a lot of these are just generic, but every character we have gotten an actual design for. Like, her, his dad, him, like, yeah, even his dad, like, his dad's a little generic, but that hair is everything. Like, it's the hair and the smile that immediately sells me on him as, like, maybe he won't be a big character, but he's still very distinctive. Like, if he's in the crowd or something during this comedy show, it'll be instantly obvious. Oh no! The man who impressed God. Contents undecided. Super ultra hilarious, amazing, spectacular rama will be funny. Yeah. I feel like a lot of creators have this fear of doing the gremlin face, or specifically doing a gremlin face when it's not ultra chibi. Like, I've seen a lot of characters where it's like, this character is very sexy when they're not chibi, but then when they are chibi, then they'll do, like, the super exaggerated faces. Hey, Bravinto. Oh no. This paper and his design are exactly the same. Like, I fully agree. This paper does immediately make me understand the character, but then I look at him, and it's like, oh no, this also makes me fully understand. This immediately gives you the sense of, I understand his sense of comedy, and also, I understand that he's gonna fail. There's no way this is going to be good. That's him. That's definitely him. And yeah, they're not clowning on him because he's gone too far. Right, like, the comedy has to have been drained from these antics because everyone's gotten too used to him. Stop adding, focus on subtracting. And I do love that, again, our main character is a comedy nerd, because this isn't going to be this isn't how do I put this? We're not doing like the act dodge thing of, this person has this weird gimmick that makes him extremely funny, and now he has to learn the rules. It seems like our duo is someone who understands all the rules and is very good, but who doesn't have, like, the confidence, and then someone who has an infinite supply of confidence, but who does not understand what comedy is. And okay, so from the start, like, he wants this to be a duo thing. God, I can't get over the extreme amount of confidence you would need to be like, yeah, I don't have a partner or a routine, but it's gonna be a funny sketch, don't worry about it. They're a perfect duo. They just the connection needs to be made. He just needs to be brave enough to say, I'm a funny boy and I want to be your funny boy. And okay, yeah, so he is self-aware. Fair enough. What I want is to win the 2 great contests in Japanese comedy. The Water 1 Grand Prix, which decides the #1 Manzai stand-up duo in the nation, and the Ultimate Comedy Battle, which decides the #1 sketch comedy team. That's so cool. So, like, we have an immediate goal at the very, very start. Oh, I love it. I mean, this does give me, immediate Bakuman vibes. It is the immediate, like, these 2 people are going to make it big. But this has that additional layer of, like, I don't, like, how are they going to actually do it? Like, he's also clearly baiting him. It's such a clear, like, Shijima, you gotta tell me. Like, why else would he be going so hard on the whole, like, I need a partner. Do you have an idea of who I can, team up with? And of course, it's full of his USB sticks that he got from winning, from all those winning answers. Oh, that's so cool! Like, that's actually, like, I thought the USB stick thing was just a, like, yeah, we're giving you a generic thing. It's so cool that you do get your punchline written on it. That's such a cool idea. And okay, so I guess he didn't know. Are you everyday Shijimi? Who did Shinigami regret giving the Death Note to? The guy who yells kill streak before writing every name. That's so good. Oh, that's genuinely really good. Oh, what was the first time? And that's how on June 1st, our lives were changed forever. Oh, so cursed. So cursed. This man does not understand comedy. And you know what? This does work. Like, he immediately made himself the bouquet and was immediately being Sukomi'd. I didn't even think about that. Like, this works so well just, as a moment in manga. But it works so doubly well as them genuinely doing a two-person comedy routine. Truly genius. I mean, I guess that is, like, the downside of a comedy manga about doing comedy is, explaining the jokes. But the strength of it really is that you can both do it as, do everything as genuine comedy and also have it be a thing in universe. Also, I do like this, like this note. The idea that comedy had him trapped in his clutches. Like, I mean, obviously that's the case. But, like, a lesser mangaka, I think, could have written this as, I spent all this time getting into comedy because I want to make that girl smile. Whereas, like, that is still a thing he wants. Like, it's still something he's thinking about. It's still a regret of his. It's still something he's probably going to try and do. But he's also genuinely just super into comedy. Like, it makes me like him so much more than if he was doing this all for a girl, quote-unquote. So what's his motivation? Someone I thought I would never see smile my entire life, busted up laughing just from a single witty comment. Oh, that's so cool. Like, they have inverse, motivations. One of them, is pushed forward by, a joke that didn't happen. The other is pushed forward by, a joke that made a miracle happen. That's so cool. He died! Holy crap, okay, we're going real hard on this one. I had a former partner, but he died. I'm gonna get people rolling so hard, he'll create a wave of laughter that'll reach him all the way up in heaven. I am so into this premise. And it really is just his, his natural not wanting to be in the spotlight, which I can definitely relate to that a lot. Like, this was also my role in school for a long time. Like, in university, I rewrote, the kind of person I was, and that worked out pretty well. But, like, in high school, this was definitely me. Oh, big mood. Oh no, he already found a partner. Oh no, chapter 1 NTR. Sorry, I just got my brain rocked by the idea of, like, your fat, old, balding NTR protagonist, and either, like a cute 19-year-old girl, or, like, a tiny 8-year-old lolly as a comedy duo. I think that would be a really strong premise for a series. Or, like, I could see that duo being an enemy, duo in the series later on. The jokes write themselves. Oh, this is truly the chance of a lifetime. How can you turn this down? You absolute fool! There's no way! You cannot do this. You can't turn away 2 giant opportunities in a row. And he typed it out, but we didn't see him send it. I feel like he's going to, he's gonna get his boy back, he's gonna undo the NTR, and, like, the end of the chapter might be, around here-ish, I'd say, around, 60 pages in. Like, they might do stand-up, and then he might say, by the way, I messaged, the radio station, and I said specifically, I'll do it if I have a partner. I wanna believe. You can't hide your true identity from Miss Hanamori. I know what you are. I'm really curious to see if this is going to be good or not. Because, he's got passion, but he doesn't seem like he's funny. I mean, this is manga, so I could see him just, running on stage and trying to heckle him into being a good comedian. Oof. Oh, betrayal. Okay, so they're gonna team up. It's a moment of passion. How dare you let go of the man who I think is funny? The truth is, if I'm gonna send that wave of laughter to heaven, you're the only possible choice. You got pranked. Again, any NTR series would be improved with the power of this sign. It's so genius. I love it. By the way, if anyone is into this is such a specific reference, but Wednesday Downtown, which is a comedy show that does, their format is, doing, like, testing theories. Like, they'll say something like, you know, how many people wearing a band shirt actually recognize the bands? And then they'll try and prove it. This wasn't a theory, was it? Or no, it was a theory. The theory of this was, how do I put this? How do I explain this sketch? The concept of this sketch was, we're going to, like, find someone who has a career ruining problem. Like, you know, like they were cheating on, you know, their wife or something. And we are going to set it up as if we are doing a, like, you got pranked thing. But instead of the, like, this is a thing in Japan. I forget what the literal translation is, but it's basically a you got pranked sign. Their premise was, we are going to find this person's, like, career ruining secrets, and we are going to set it up as if we are, you know, this is going to be a gag thing where we're pretending to reveal this. But the sign is just going to say real on it. And the concept, like, the thing they were testing was, is real as funny as you got pranked? Can we just, you know, set this up and then have the punchline be, we're really ruining your career? Is that going to be as funny as pretending to ruin someone's career? I've got to find this thing later. I'm not going to do it now. But it is the most bizarre form of comedy I think I've seen in a while. God, I can't get over this double twist. It's so powerful. Because, yeah, his friend was also in on it. Like, his friend was also, like, willing to do this. To just say out loud, that's hilarious. You're such a piece of crap. This dialogue makes so much more sense now, actually, knowing that both of them were in on it. Oh, boy. Oh. And there is a slight edge of blackmail here. Let me pull this up. I love it. You never once said you didn't want to do it. I'm not forcing you to do it. There's so much NTR energy in this chapter. But come on, do it. Just do it. And, like, did he send this? Like, I really assumed he didn't, but because, like, even here he was willing to say no, like, maybe he did. But, like, yeah, the fact that we're seeing it here and it's not even fully, like, you know, written, I feel like he just, like, saved this to draft and he didn't actually send it. Oh, come on, nut up, you can do this. Let me say one thing, my stage fright is the real deal. My voice is super soft. I'll trip over all my lines. But he's doing it. As I said about the homies, like, bad Common Writer podcast, doing it is second place to being good. It's a sentiment that I truly do believe in. That is the basis of my entire channel. Someday my channel will be good, but until then, it's at least there. I love this. Oh. I can't believe it. Truly a disaster. Like, yeah, this isn't even how improv comedians, like, prepare. Like, even an improv comedian at the very least is, like, you know, thinking about stuff. Like, coming up with, you know, general things they can riff on, as opposed to just reading about his local history. And yeah, they are so perfectly Iboke and Sakomi. Don't forget, I'm also the genius who even impressed God. The local history, I mean, to be fair, they are performing for their audience. Like, people who are, you know, around the school area. So never, you know, he could genuinely have some really funny lines that are based around, like, that area. That is something that I'm not very good at it, but in person, when I'm trying to make someone laugh, that is my go-to. Like, finding something that is extremely hyper-specific. Like, something about the room, or something about, like, the meal we just had. And, like, trying to riff on that. Like, it's the ultimate way to create a joke that someone else hasn't seen before. Because it is a fundamental, like, why would you have ever seen a comedy thing on Netflix talking about your fridge? And yeah, I mean, I've been to school comedy things as well. They're never good. I mean, that's also just part of, you know, being a teenager means that your sense of comedy is probably shit. And, like, it's the kind, teenagers seem very wired for a sense of comedy that is only funny to a very narrow group of people, which is why something like TikTok is so powerful. because like the algorithm, does the job of matching, that specific type of person to your specific weird brand of comedy. That genius child actor from those historical dramas, Taiyo Higashikata, is going to do sketch comedy for the final act. So he is kind of a big name, but like in a very different sense. That's really cool, because like that creates a much different problem. Like I can't remember his name, but like our main character, clearly has a family who are going to be very weirded out if he decides to go into comedy. Like just because like they're clearly, expecting him to be a straight shooter going for Tokyo U. But I could see his family, having a very, negative push, because he has he has the basis of an actual career. Like pivoting into being a comedian would be a step down. For the moment, I just have 3 gags for you to do, and the only lines I have are all sensei. Okay. Because this also, this is also clearly a, like, here are the lines, I think these are going to be really funny, and you're, like, okay, actually, no, from this setup, I guess, like, it's not that they're, it's not that one of them is a sensei and the other one is the teacher. Or, sorry, wait, I fucked that one up. So it is that they're both pleading to the sensei for some reason. Oh, I'm so into this. Okay, come on, I believe in you. And yeah, like, once the crowd starts laughing, I think it'll be okay. The real danger is, like, I could never do stand-up for the reason of just, like, if the crowd isn't already laughing, I don't think I'd be able to get a joke out. Because my sense of comedy is bad. My sense of comedy is all, hey, look at this, or hey, look at this, like, meme templates. Oh boy, here we go. My first line. So he's going, okay, so he is actually going to be the sensei. The moment he came out, the whole mood changed. Yeah, he's got that raw charisma and, like, the ability to just go out and start talking. Like, I love it. I love their dynamic already. And yeah, that's not a great line, but it does work. It is playing off his extreme nervousness. Okay. And yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that, yeah, one of his big hurdles is going to be actually projecting his voice. This panel is perfect. It's such a big wave. I also really love this visualization. It's so epic. This metaphor work is so strong. I love it. First wave of laughter in my life was so thrilling, I almost peed my pants. And this is such a perfect setup. Like, going from super obvious joke to then hard, like, I was talking you up, but no, I gotta talk you down. We're not going to finals. And this really is a dynamic where, yeah, all he is saying is sensei, and most people in the crowd are probably not going to think of him as being that funny, but he is the reason why this all works. And yeah, the other chairs are also really doing a lot of heavy lifting. It does mean that, like, he can, start talking to the other kids, instead of making it feel like, there's one person here who isn't talking. No, jump! Stop! Obata really, like, I haven't really thought about this, but Obata is really, really good at drawing characters who have charisma. Like, that is, like, why Light is so, like, so strong in Death Note. It's the reason why, like, so many of the mangaka in Bakuman, can sell you on being geniuses, or, like, on, like, all the twists and turns. Even Platinum End, like, I think part of the weakness of Platinum End is, the fact that there's a whole ass arc where everyone's wearing masks and everyone sucks ass and I hate everyone. But, like, whenever we get the dynamic of, like, someone being swept into someone else's resolve, or, someone, falling in love, like, that all works really, really well. Okay, we don't know anything about this sketch. He finally broke from just saying sensei to actually, ad-libbing a line. This is so good. God, I love this dynamic. I'm probably not going to react to this series because it does have the downside of a lot of comedies of, like, I don't know what to say about this. I don't know if this is funny to watch. But god damn it, they have sold me on the series. It's so good. Okay, so the cigarettes were part of the script, and that is such a bare bones script, but goddamn, it worked so well. God damn. If I become famous, I might get the chance to see her again. So we are like, that is the setup. It is a like, I can't find her, so we just need to get popular enough that then I can find her, and then I can tell her a joke. God damn it. We might get it. We might get 13 volumes of Show-Ha Shoten, and then the very ending is, oh, I'm finally funny enough to go to the girl I liked in middle school and tell her a joke. It's just comedy Bakugan. But, I mean, just the phrase comedy Bakugan immediately makes me so excited. God damn, 10 out of 10. Is the next chapter out? Okay, no. There's no way. If the next chapter is out, let me just check. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it is. And okay, this is on a schedule, so next chapter is December 2nd. Huh, did they put out like American Jump put it, both these out on the same dates? Did they both come out as 2 chapters in Japan as well? Because it does seem like this is going to be a monthly series. Also, Ravinto, you're right. That is just the Sailor Stars, but without the added layer of we are going to change gender presentation. Because of course, like, what the person we care for, what the princess would recognize us by is if we are dudes. Like, if we are a boy band. Oh my god, you know what? Like, you're right. I cannot say that. I cannot say that this is not going to be the Sailor Stars. If they start cross-dressing in chapter 2, I'm gonna be into it. I can't lie. That would be a fucking great twist. But yeah, in any case, fantastic. I don't think I'm going to continue reactions. We'll see. I'll probably record chapter 2 next week. I don't know if I'll do it on the live stream though. But either way, I'm definitely going to be reading this. This has already sold me. I'm so into it. Fantastic. Right to the top. There's no competition. There's zero competition. It's so fucking good. Like, Neru was fantastic this week, and Black Clover was super hype, but there's no competition. Okay, now, to transition away from this to everything else that I do in Jump. Oh boy. How long have I been recording? It's been a hot minute, but we're still going. Next, we've got Sakamoto Days, chapter 46, or rather, Days 46, Bad Luck. I see it still has not accepted the word days as being DAYS, and to be fair, I don't know why it would. No one is using the word days in that context. It accepted it as a day is, which is not the same as Days 46. I mean, I know he's about to get styled on, but just the idea that this man has turned 432 people into tiny balls with his bare hands is wild. God damn. If he had Slur's number, this would have been an instant, like, not instant win necessarily, but the idea of just calling up Slur in the middle of a fight is wild. Oh no, not his browsing history. I mean, he does seem upset by the idea of someone seeing his browsing history. I'm not sure if crushing it into a ball is useful in this context. I mean, I guess he might be, better at, a ball is a bit more aerodynamic than just, like, a chunk. But still, I don't know if this is worth the amount of effort you're expending to turn anything into a tiny ball. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Like, this is the same context as, like, like, taking a big chunk of, like, coal and crushing it into a diamond. Like, he isn't just turning it into a ball. He is making it harder. Oh, it's a kid that, that pokes the poop. Where are you? Did he disguise himself? Oh yeah, like, this isn't a mirror, right? This is the door. Oh, God, Sakamoto Days is the coolest. What happened to the door? Because this is the same choke. Did he tear him out of the door? How did this happen? And also, he did immediately, I mean, yeah, he's been able to, like, change appearance instantly before, so this isn't a weird thing, but it does raise the question of how he does that. What's that? A weapon? In a lot of cases when someone says, "What's that?" I would question them, but in this case, I will fully agree. I think he's fully justified. I don't know what this is. Is this a Swiss Army knife of murder? If it's illusions, I mean, I'm not against it, but that raises so many more questions. Like, how would that work? Is he just standing in such a way where you look at him and you go, oh, that's Sakamoto, or that's Jeff Sakamoto's wife, or that's me? That's me, I think, actually works pretty well. Like, I could totally see this just being, yeah, you look at your own reflection in the mirror, or you look at your own reflection in glass, and for a moment you don't realize that is, in fact, someone else. But, like, the moments where he's just, straight up, standing in the middle of Sakamoto's, like, the stuff he did super early on in the series. Like, that is so unbelievably blatant. Ooh, pick a number from 1 to 6. This is such a wild gimmick. And right, he does have the math stuff. So yeah, this does actually tie in really nicely to that. Sakamoto Days is definitely a series where I could see them doing the Yu-Gi-Oh thing of, I'm going to take this dice and throw it so hard it's going to punch through your head and you're going to die. How? How did he do this? That does definitely, like, increase the possibility of it being an illusion. That still raises the question of how. I mean, homie, that's the same logic as, like, watching Iron Man 2008 and saying, well, there's an Iron Man, so of course unicorns should also logically exist. Like, I'm fully willing to accept a world where you've got, like, telepathy, you got, whatever, Deer Man's body is, where you can just be a lesbian and have giant, pokey, stabby things in your body you can pull out whenever you want. But that doesn't mean they don't need to be explained. I mean, even doing an illusion so hard that people look at you and they think you're Sakamoto until, you move aside and they instantly realize you're not, is still, like, it's fundamentally different than staring and going like, oh, you had a dice. Oh no, the dice is in my mouth. Like, you can only mind freak so hard. Okay, that's GG. God damn, what a fight. This also just did a really good job of selling me on, like, the idea that Nagamo is unbelievably good. Like, with the other members of Order thus far, like, they've been pretty darn good, but I haven't been, like, that insanely blown away. Whereas, like, for Nagamo to be able to pull off all of those illusions while seemingly, like, effortlessly moving around and fighting like that, it is, like, it feels like it's on another level. Like, he feels like he's Sakamoto tier. I mean, old guy that cut the car in half, like, that's not an assassination move. That's just swinging really hard. Like, once you've, like, that's not that impressive compared to, like everything else that requires so much more technique. I mean, it's still impressive, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking down, being asleep and then in your sleep it was slicing apart your entire car and also the bridge that you're driving on. But it's fundamentally, like, it doesn't seem that, I mean, just the fact that, he was able to do it while sleeping makes me think that, it doesn't feel that finessey. It feels like he's just got a really good swing. He's just got those old man muscles. Is this the first time where, like, Sakamoto has been, like, clearly stated to be trying to slim down? Like, every other time, it's been more of a, like, he's being pushed to his limits, and then, like, he burned it, I've assumed he burns off the calories, but I guess we've never actually said that. I mean, you don't know, home. It could be a Zenitsu situation. They didn't say it wasn't. Like, it was just a car full of assassins all, worried that he was going to wake up. I'm just saying it's possible. But I mean, like, same with the parts. Or sorry, like, my thesis of I'm not going to buy everything is also, it's part and parcel with the parts. In that, like, I'm fully willing to accept that this man can slice people apart, but also use those same monofilament wires that are wrapped around his fingers to Spider-Man himself up Tokyo Tower. Like, that's fine to me. But, like, it's all one consistent thing. He's just really good at this. Absolute banger of a chapter. This is such a wild chapter to be called Bad Luck. Because, like, these are all bladed weapons. Like, it is a flex. It is just a hard, like, you're going to die no matter what. Like, the bad luck was really just being in a fight with Nagamo from the start. I'll trust you, homie. I'm sure I've seen this before, like, just without thinking about it. But having Power be the spokeslady of Shonen Jump, like the one who's like, hey, join free. It feels so weird. I guess if I had to do anything like this, I would probably choose Makima. It would just be a big picture of Makima brainwashing you into joining Shonen Jump. Or Goku eating a burger is also very strong. Can I get another one? This one's eh. I mean, this one's just read Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't feel like Yuji is telling me to read Shonen Jump. Okay, I should probably stop. I don't think this is entertaining. Ooh, I'll probably check it out eventually. I'll probably wait until the old man does something interesting, and then I'll go back and see if if the one shot still feels like it's canon. Like, I don't want to get too hyped for a character based on a one shot in which they appear. It might sway my my mental understanding. Anyways, that's Sakamoto Days. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sakamoto Days gets an easy. In terms of baller contents, it's somewhere on the same level as Black Clover. Like, this chapter of Black Clover was really, really cool. I'll give it the edge. Yeah. So, with that, let us move on to Undead Unluck, Chapter 86. My armor is... I mean, it's a statement where I assume, like, in the chapter, we're probably going to get the big statement of, my armor is unbreakable. Here we go. Back to Beyblade. That's really cool. Like, having this negator ability be, like, hereditary. Like, I wonder how that works. Like, the fact that she's surprised that Unbreakable moved to her and not her dad is interesting. Like, the fact that her dad knew about it without her, having to do it. Like, how does that work? Like, there's no doubt in my mind that God would be okay with this as a, like, this is a good story. This is a thing that, can definitely create tragedy in the future, especially with her. Like, since, she doesn't make armor for anyone else, I imagine there has to be some trauma attached to that. And okay, so I kind of assumed that Andy wouldn't be able to, like, just rig it. Like, there's no situation in which they can both just go, like, let's just flop over. We're done. That is cool. That makes me really excited for, like, both this match and future matches. Because that does mean that they can choose anyone. Like, Fuko can choose someone from, Under. And, like, they won't be able to, betray her or anything. I wonder what would happen if she chose Billy. I mean, she doesn't know what his, like, negator ability is. So I doubt, we had a list of negator abilities up there. So I doubt she'd be able to, like, choose, like, out of universe, like, I'm 99.9% sure that he's, unbelievable. That is the basic theory. But in universe, Fuko doesn't know that. And also, like, we didn't see his name written there, so whatever criteria exists. His tattoo being, like, on him as a top is so cool. How did Spring tell him to do this? Like, is it just a go all out? Or did Spring have to specifically go, like, use your special technique, a Dead Blade Waxing Moon? What is this rubble for? Ooh, cool. An instant unbreakable wall. And, like, what are the what is the criteria for turning something unbreakable? Because, like, I think I speculated on this last week, so I'm not going to go back into it. I don't want to, to be boring. But I feel like it has to be something connected to, like, belief. I feel like it has, like, the thing that makes the most sense to me would be, like, she can't make something unbreakable unless she believes it's unbreakable. Like, in the sense that, like, I could see it being a, like, her dad made her armor. Or did that already get contradicted? I could see it being something like that, where it is like, I can fully believe that this armor that I'm wearing myself, because it's in close proximity to me, I can make it unbreakable all the time. But I don't know if, like, if someone else was wearing that armor, I don't know if it would fail on them and they would die. The only thing that stands out to me as being really weird, like, Spring already had, like, archaic dialogue, but now it seems like there's a lot of ellipses here, which would make sense if, like, if Spring is, like, God hasn't, taken direct control, like, this isn't God she is now fighting, but if, like, he's become more robotic. Now, continued spin and spurt, it's blood all about, but Unbreakable is left, without means of attacking. Should you stay holed up indefinitely, then things shall grow worse for you. Undead top shall continue to spin and spurt. It's blood all about. Are they haiku? Damn. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about it in the slightest if he didn't say it. Oh, that's so cool. Also, oh man, I do not envy the translators for, having not that long of a turnaround in order to do any chapter, but specifically, like, anytime there's a character who has, like, this kind of speech pattern, I imagine it is an unbelievable pain. This lightning. Yeah, like, we've kept it ambiguous as to whether this is spring or not. Like, is this spring lightning? Is this spring misfortune? Or is this God? Or is it completely chance? Your Unbreakable is starting to wear off. Yeah, what are the rules? Oh, that's so creepy. Yeah, this has to be an Uma, right? I mean, there could also just be demons. Like, depending on, like, what rules are in place, there's no reason why there can't be, like, just straight up Uma demon out there. And as long as Uma demon exists, then demons are real. But I'm guessing this is, like, some sort of dissolving Uma. Like, it's been a while since I've said this, but I do love that Undead Unluck has that, like, structure to it, where literally anything can happen. Like, at this point, like, Uma Galaxy didn't exist, so, like, this can't be an alien, but it could be a demon, could be a ghost, could be, like, it could just be Acid Monster. Like, it's possible that there was just straight up an Uma Acid Monster whose rule is, as long as, as long as Uma Acid Monster exists, acid monsters also exist in the world. Like, we haven't seen an Uma that has been that unbelievably specific, but, like, there's no reason why that can't, be a thing. Like, literally anything you can imagine can exist at some point within Undead Unluck, and it doesn't have to continue existing. Ah. God damn. So he was able to kill it, like, even if his armor is not truly unbreakable. That is very baller. Never lose to fear. Once you step past my corpse, then your armor will never again. But yeah, so it's not love-based. Like, she definitely loves her dad. It could still be belief-based. Like, she's praying to an ancestor. But then, like, I don't know why her clan wouldn't, like, have, like, an ingrained, you gotta believe in yourself ethos. Alright, he sliced through it. And, like, he sliced through it as Ishin was thinking about that flashback. So I think that would also make sense if it is a, like, as long as her belief doesn't waver, then it's unbreakable. Because something I haven't really talked about is, like, Andy's katana, and the fact that that has been consistently unbreakable all this time. Like, is that because Ishin deeply believes in the unbreakability of the katana? Or is it, like, is it possible that Ishin, like, made the katana, believed it was unbreakable, and then hasn't thought about it since? And since she hasn't thought about it, like, there's been no belief there to waver. Like, the default has just been, it's unbreakable. Huh. So Fuko threw blood in. I'm just attacking her. I'm not helping her. It's an attack. Don't be mad, God. This is just your average Uma attack. Oh, that's so cool. And so, has Fuko, like, evolved to the point where, like, touching her blood means that you are touching her, which means that, she can hit you with Unluck? Because then how does that work? Like, if Top Andy, like, still has the blood on him and then leaves, like, does that count as no longer touching Fuko? Or, like, does the blood that is still on him count? Because I could see that being a really powerful move later on. Like, if Fuko can, in the same way that, Andy fights with blood, if Fuko could, like, put blood on someone as a curse, and then when you remove that blood, then they are hit with Unluck. Like, there's so many possibilities for that. Like, what if it's raining outside, and she splatters you with blood, and then, you have a whole fight, you get away, you walk out into the rain washes the blood off of you, and then that counts as you no longer touching her, and you get hit with lightning. I mean, what happens if you get a blood transfusion from her and she is thinking of it she is trying to assassinate you, so she gives you blood, and now her blood is in your veins, and, like, over the course of, the natural lifespan of blood, all that blood slowly dies off and is replaced with your own blood, thus turning you into this ticking time bomb, in which at some point in your life, like, every single, like, cell of blood from Fuko will finally be gone, and then your blood will no longer be touching her blood, and then you will suffer extreme Unluck. The Cells at Work / Undead Unluck crossover would be unbelievably good. Timing, yeah, I find both of your, like, all of your answers really interesting. Like, it could be a time thing. It could be it could just have been a different Ishin. Very, very possible. I mean, the fact that we saw, young Ishin also, like that we've seen her as a little girl does make me think then that, yeah, of course, the Ishin that met Spring, 100% an ancestor. Like, that was kind of already obvious, but I just want to say that, for the record. The platelets in Andy's body, like, I'm imagining that they are, A, they've all got Andy's face, B, they're super buff while still being little kids, and C, they are, like, hyper caffeinated. Because those platelets have to be going absolute. I mean, A, we know that those platelets can, reform his whole body really fast. B, we know that they can turn into blades that are as strong as steel, if not stronger. They are the most insane platelets, let alone all the other cells. Okay, enough speculating on Fuko's abilities. Now that Andy has touched my blood, I'm going to send a decent sized stroke of unluck his way. Cool, cool, cool. Also, actually, I guess this does raise the question of, like, how does Fuko's unluck work on Clothy? Like, up to this point, I guess we could, basically go off of the, like, he hasn't really been touching her this whole time. Even with this cape, or with this cloak, we can say that, any point that is actually physically touching her could just be on her, like, upper clothing here. Like, Clothy could be strategically, like, holding himself up over her. Like the Uma version of hover hands. But this is definitely touching her. Like, is he gonna get big unlucked after this? That's so cool. You're right. He could just keep on touching her forever. Now, this does mean that Andy's going to have to go back to the old status quo of always destroying his clothing always. But I mean, I guess that's fine. Or I guess, we could go back to the even earlier status quo of he's just always nude. The Clothy era of Andy not being nude might finally be over. I mean, we know that Fuko really likes Clothy, and she can only like him more after, like spending all this time with him. The ending of part 1 might just be Clothy finally lets go, and the amount of unluck inside of him, turns him into a black hole. He spontaneously turns into antimatter and reacts with whatever he's touching and destroys the entire planet. Also, really strong flip-flop of, this is the moment where Fuko's also trying to go, like, I'm really specifying this unluck. This is going to be a very specific piece of unluck. It's going to be a big ball of hail that will only send Andy flying. And it's like, now, she's not that good yet. This is still going to be your classic meteorite that's going to destroy everything. She's still got some work to do. Okay, so Ishin is no longer atop, left the match. This does mean that Ishin has lost. So we're already at 1-0. Critique of a blossoming personality. Ishin, you mustn't lose to fear. Once you step past my corpse, then your armor will never again. God damn! So yeah, last chapter didn't quite get across how swole Ishin is. Undead Unluck, you mustn't lose to fear. Once you step past the corpse of Red Hood, then you will embody the super buff girl. God damn. Wicked sick indeed. Yeah, both her arms are yeah, bandaged all the way up here. Like, yeah. God damn. Her aesthetic is so good. Also, Fuko in the armor is ultra cute. And okay, she did also, like, make a little area for herself so she wouldn't die. I was wondering if she was just gonna stand there and take it. I mean, if she, like, gains full belief in herself and she can make unbreakable stuff whenever she wants, maybe she will just make Andy an unbreakable condom. Like, that could be the next evolution, because a fully nude Andy with the sensor bar is, like, not bad. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against it. But, like, we've already kind of had that era. Like, it would just be indistinguishable. We'd be going backwards in terms of design. Whereas if it's just Andy with, like, an unbreakable condom, or, like, unbreakable undies, that would be this clear evolution of, like, no, it's different now. But then we would lose the sensor bar. And, like, this is still, like, her armor is unbreakable. she believes that her armor is unbreakable. This is not necessarily like she has, gotten to the point where she can just do anything. And yeah, like, that isn't how humans grow. Like, I think we probably still have an arc to go before she fully manages to be able to just, make anything she wants and just have it be consistently unbreakable. All right, Spring does win. Like, they both went out of bounds, but like, Andy being hit with the meteor doesn't really matter. Depending on the rules, like, if someone, if something that a previous Unbreakable made can still be unbreakable in the future because, like, yeah, I think that completely removes the possibility of, like, the armor. Like, she definitely made her own armor. But a previous Unbreakable could have made Andy's katana. I'm wondering about that specifically because, like, that opens up the possibility of, like, when the big loop happens. Like, once Andy's just, standing on the earth waiting for it all to happen, once Fuko is in the arc, like, it opens up the possibility of Fuko having, like, armor or clothing or something that was designed by Ishin that she could, like, wear into the next loop. That also means that, like, we can have, like, if we do fail here, like, Ishin can still make, like, unbreakable armor for everyone, or, like, a bunch of unbreakable stuff, and it wouldn't, like, throw the balance of power out of whack, because, like, Fuko is going to have to, go through another loop. She's probably going to have to find another Ishin and, team up with them. Not necessarily. I mean, it depends on how the arc works, but, like, the way we've been told about the artifacts is that, like, the artifacts are all on meteorites or, like, asteroids that are floating in space that are, like, remnants of the previous exploded Earths. Like, you wouldn't have to have the arc for that at all. Like, fundamentally, they're just gonna be out there because they're just, like, on the big chunks of Earth that are still around. Like, even in the absence of Uma Galaxy, like, the chunks of Earth are still around. Ah. Great Undead Unluck. I mean, it's great, but it's also just, consistently good. Do I give it the edge over Neru? I don't think I will. I think I'll give it the edge over Sakamoto Days, but not Neru. They're very different types of good. And of course, like, nothing's living up to Show-Ha Shoten. That was such a fantastic first chapter. It's just impossible to deal with. Undead Unluck continues to just be fantastic. All right. Talk to you later, Bravinto. Thanks for being here. Really appreciated having you around. Okay, and with that... Oh boy, I'm starting to work up a sweat, but I don't want to turn on the fan. Like, my fan isn't right next to me right now because I put it away, so it'd be a pain. I'll just power through it. Next, we've got Dr. Stone, chapter 217. She did it. Kohaku managed to use her eyes. I still love the mental image of them going to Y-Man and screaming, "We found you, Y-Man!" And whoever Y-Man is being very upset at the concept of just like, "Oh no, you call me Y-Man? That's my name to you?" Senko. Like, this phrasing of it was just like, yeah, via our one-way rocket, which ends with some of us petrified. So this is all or nothing. This is the moment where we figure out what the heck the plan is with, like, Chrome and Suika's secret, we're going to build a rocket in private plan. Nomi, you're right. You're right. In 6 years, nobody aged. It's bothersome. I accept it. I accept that this is weird as heck. Galactic scale, come together as one. What if we have aliens make the ship? What could this be? I thought up a way for everyone to survive and make it home in a two-way rocket made possible by science. All they gotta do is talk to the AI that lives on the moon and say, "Hey, can you, convert matter into a big rocket that can, you can then land?" I'm so okay, Mega Science Conference. Rookie scientist versus super scientist. Okay, how's this gonna go? So what is the plan? Like, I am glad that this is a, hey, we're gonna debate you on this, or we're gonna tell you about this, we're gonna sell you on it, as opposed to what I thought the series was saying initially, which was, while Senku works on, while all the resources of the, Kingdom of Science work on making the one-way rockets, Chrome and Suika just in the backyard using scraps build a much bigger two-way rocket. Oh no. Oh no. Boichi, no. Boichi be bad tune for me. Okay, we're gonna take that gigantic spaceship that can make it back home from the moon, and we're gonna launch it there in 5 pieces. Then up in space, they combine into one mega ship. Okay, you know what? That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not sure if this, like, it solves the problem of, like, launching a giant ship like that. But it doesn't solve the problem of, like, making sure that ship can actually come back down properly. Like, it still feels like it's going to be 5 times the amount of effort, right? Because they have to build 5 rockets to get the pieces up, and also all 5 of the pieces, and they have to make sure, like, on Earth that they can all be put together properly. True. I'm not totally sure how this helps that much. Like, why not just have it be 2 pieces then? Like, if the concept is, like, the problem as I understand it is, like, let's take the top parts. Oh no, I don't have my tools. Crap, never mind. I'm not gonna draw on it. But the problem I assumed was that, like, this part, like, on the way up would be too damaged to then come back down. Like, too damaged slash, like, the initial launch might, use up all the gas. And so they wouldn't, be able to have enough to, like, then do the return flight without making the entire thing way heavier. So in that, at that point, all you would really need is, like, it really depends on whether they already have a capsule that can go up and then come back down. Like, if the only problem is, like, propulsion, then they should be able to just land another one of these boys on the moon and then attach it there and then come back. Like, the concept makes sense. It's just, I'm not totally sure why it would help to, like, make it, like, make all 5 pieces. Because it seems like you would want the beefy rocket specifically so you can launch it, from Earth to the moon and then from the moon back to Earth. Because also, like, launching this part up, like, is it not still going to, like, suffer the stresses of going through the atmosphere the first time? We'll see. Huh, that is actually really cool. Like, I knew about the space station, but I didn't know that even NASA was, thinking about doing something like this. Like, the fuel thing makes sense to me, but my question is then, like, why not just, like, launch, launch our main characters to the moon, and then launch a separate rocket with, a fuel thing to the moon? Or, like, even if they're only at the stage where they have to, like, drop all the boosters, why not just shoot a rocket with, spare boosters on it to the moon, and then attach those to their initial spaceship? Like, I don't understand the purpose of, like, making a full-sized 5-part rocket. Because I would assume that the reason why you would need the full-sized 5-part rocket is to, have the amount of force to get, get from Earth into space while, fighting gravity, and also, like, surviving the forces of, like, going through the atmosphere. You raised a good point, Rontham. You have fought me with narrative, the one weapon I cannot defeat. Ooh, it's time for voting. Is this a Squid Game reference? We combine our strength to build and create. This will be the Stone World's first democratic votes. Oh, it's an electronic voting machine. Oh no, what if Italy hacks the voting machine? Is the voting rigged? I love the idea of Ryusui inventing voter fraud in the Stone World. I mean, we're not at that point yet. Once Ryusui and Senku start toppling governments in the Stone World, that's when we need to invent voting fraud in the Stone World. But yeah, like, as they said it, the vote is literally just these people, because they can't even ask everyone in Ishigami Village. Like, they can't tell everyone about the stoning and how that works. Okay, so, easy peasy, 2-way vote. Or, like, the 2-way rocket. We're doing it. And I do like this as a, like, worldwide project. Like, everyone's working on pieces. Ooh, what's the tally? Like, yeah, we won't know who voted for and against. We can't see, like, if anyone voted against. And yeah, this is so much better. And it makes sense, like, it's perfect. It's just, like, I was so genuinely scared for a moment there. Like, and by moment, I mean, like, throughout this whole arc, I was so worried that Inagaki-sensei was gonna go for no, Chrome and Suika are in fact going to make a rocket in secret. And so no one voted for one way. Everyone wanted this to work out. I love it. Truly, the ultimate form of voter fraud is normal ass democracy. Ah, I really appreciate Sai's hair because it's not quite my hair, but it's got that wavy energy to it that it's very hard to draw that. Just because consistently doing that is a pain, and I don't begrudge any artist who looks at that kind of hair and goes, "I'm just not gonna." But it just makes me appreciate Boichi so much for being able to draw it. Hmm. The whole world's got to work on this transforming rockets, and the only way to make it happen is if we hook the stone world up with the internet. We already have video games. We're gonna have the internet. It's not. It's only a hop, skip, and a jump away before we finally get to gaming, like internet gaming. We can still get to. Actually, no, we can't. I was gonna say we can still get to Halo before the actual date in universe that Halo is happening, but no, we're way too far ahead for that. Now, is this just a thing that happens to Sai? Or is this are we going with Food War rules where uh, the stripping has now gone into Sai? This is a this is a stripping that can transfer between people. Fortnite in the Stone World is a beautiful concept. Mild MCU spoilers, but we do know that Fortnite exists in the MCU, in our future, or at a later date than now. And I've had a long fight with my fiance over the concept of that. His argument being that it doesn't make sense, and my argument is no, it's just that whatever build we saw in the movies has to be in 2025. Fortnite has to do a rollback event in which they're yeah, we are going to use this older build, and so that's why in the MCU when we see Fortnite in the future, it looks like current, or it looks like past Fortnites. It's still completely fine. What I'm saying is that then, as long as Fortnite gets coded to the exact state it is in 2022, then they can do a Fortnite X Dr. Stone collab event in which we are playing a map from Fortnite as coded by Sai in the future that still looks exactly like it does right now. I mean, fundamentally, the Dr. Stone thing would be different because we know that the stoning happened when Dr. Stone was published IRL. So it is fundamentally it can't be our future, because the time we are currently in right now is an alternate divergence from where the timeline splits in Dr. Stone. So I guess it would just have to be transdimensional, which is a thing we've already seen in a cover page in Dr. Stone. There is, of course, the One Piece cover page in which Senku makes the portal to go to the world of One Piece in order to save Ace. So he could just, in addition to making the internet here, he could also have open up a portal and then run fiber optic cable through it to our world. Then we can play Fortnite against the characters in Dr. Stone. I completely buy this. It makes total sense. I will not hear any arguments against it. So that is Dr. Stone. Very good. It's not a fantastic chapter, but I really like it for, in part, this sense of relief I am feeling over just seeing how this is working out and seeing that it makes sense and that it's not absolute BS. And the fact that it also has this, this collaborative aspect, this idea that the whole world is going to be working on this jumbo-sized rockets for the sake of, making sure that people aren't going to be stranded on the moon. For the fact, just to make it a two-way trip. Also, I will end it with the thought I just had of, I guess part of the reason why it needs to be a 5-part rocket is if they are incapable of, how do I put this? It has to be a rocket that can land on the moon, and then whatever happens, they have to be able to get back onto the rocket and leave. They shouldn't have to wait for for something else to hit the moon and then for them to assemble it on the moon. They don't know what they're going to have to deal with on the moon. And so they can't just they can't afford to have a situation where they land on the moon and then a second rocket is going to be sent. And then they have to figure all that out. It would be a lot less of a headache if they could just build the rocket in space, put it together, make sure it works properly, and then go to the moon. Okay. I did not, in fact, put down Dr. Stone, because I did not decide where it's going. It's not in the top 3. Can't lie. It's not Sakamoto Days tier, but I'm gonna say it's better than Black Clover. So, right there. Put it right there. Alright, 2 more series. Let's go right into My Hero Academia, chapter 332. Last chapter, I want to make sure, like, we ended it with Tiamat being fired, right? Of course, I can't actually do it. I don't understand why this is a thing. Like, this isn't a problem my browser has on anything else. And, like, I've disabled ad block. I don't know why just these don't work for me. But yeah, I guess I don't really know what I would want to see. Like, I feel like, Tiamat being fired is really all the context I really need, right? My Hero Academia, number 332. State-of-the-art, hypersonic, intercontinental cruise... ... Okay, I will accept your request. This is usually a bad idea, but I'll do it this one time. So, pages 12 to 13, but I will look at her wherever she is. There? You're right. Aw, that is really interesting. Yeah, like, her All Might shading goes away. Huh. Oh, that's so cool. That's a really clever detail. Holy moly, thank you for pointing that out. That is such a tiny detail. And, like, that does fit with what we know of, like, when Deku impersonates All Might, or, like, when he's doing an impression of All Might, he does shift his art style to also look like All Might. Like, the art style that All Might is in is a thing in universe. Like, it's not, I'm not saying this is a hyper, like, oh, this has to mean something, but just, like, that is a thing. Like, you can look at someone and you can tell that they have the All Might art style. Oh, that's so cool. Ooh, what is this? Okay, it's the character guide. Oh, I hope this is there's no way this is written as, like, Deku, but I really love the idea of, like, a My Hero Academia, like, character guide / data book that is written from Deku's perspective, and it's full of weird little scribbles and stuff. All right, of course. That will not work. I have to go here. So there was a point where she couldn't, like, go full All Might. Interesting. And so this isn't, like, is this them saying that, or is it just her? Those who know me well would say, at the end of the day, quirks reflect what's on the inside. After all, maybe it's because Cassie is a girl. Okay, so that is, like, yeah, she is she is saying that other people would say that. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I'm really happy that she's got army bros. I always hated those words, but they never once said that to me. Oh, it does make me care about them a lot more. Like, when we started this fight, I definitely thought of them as being cannon fodder, but this is a very clear, like, no, these are bros. Like, if any of them get killed by Shigaraki, I'm gonna feel bad. Oh, I really love this panel. Like, just, this confluence of All For One and Shigaraki being annihilated by this, laser that's been fused together into this giant beam. Just kind of going, she must know that this isn't doing much to me. I mean, that's some Shigaraki influence. I don't believe that All For One knows the term stunlock. That's Shigaraki. She must have a way, a make-or-break moment for us both. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, this is so cool. It is a crying shame that no one in universe can see how cool this looks. Like, to anyone else, this is just a blank page with, a beam here and some missiles coming in here, but you can't even see them. They're so far away. Man, I bet the My Hero art book just has a ton of Shigaraki faces in it. I bet it's all Shigaraki faces and Shigaraki hands. I can't say this is quite that scary because, like, anything where we see Shigaraki's wrinkles, like, that's what really bothers me. The water here, like, blurs him out too much for me to be that scared. I think, like, my current scariest Shigaraki panel is probably in the I guess it would be when All For One takes over his body and we see, like, that mix of, like, all the scars and, like, weird wrinkles and stuff on Shigaraki's face, but it's so swollen shut that it looks like All For One's face. Like, I've got a problem with texture. Like, the scariest visuals to me are definitely the ones that are just super over textured. You order. Tiamat is redirected. And okay, so Tiamat does count for all of the missiles. Like, they are all just this giant bundle. State-of-the-art hypersonic intercontinental cruise punch! God, so cool. So unbelievably cool. Yeah. Usually I'm more like, stingy and picky when it comes to describing things that are not literally nuclear weapons as nukes, but I get it. This is insane. Oh no, did Shigaraki tunnel? Did he just like decay a big hole all the way down so like he wouldn't actually have to physically smash into anything? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, see, this is to me a scary Shigaraki panel. Ah, yeah, this is getting right into my not liking scary textures. Oh, like, it really is the combo of, like, the bone here and, like, the muscle fibers here and then, like, the contrasting, like, whatever this is. Oh, no, 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 I don't like it. Instant that shift came, I wasted no time using decay to tunnel into the earth. Now, this is such a hard contrast from, oh no, let me put that back, from the scariest Shigaraki to the cutest Shigaraki. So yeah, like, the moment the, like, laser stopped hitting him, he flew backwards. So, also, like, he didn't actually get hit by Tiamat. It is like, he just used the momentum of being pushed backwards to, like, let himself be pushed into the hole. Yeah, because this is also such a tiny little hole. And it doesn't seem like he was that deep in. Like, that, it's difficult to tell. But if we take it on face value of he's right here and he, launches right out, then it doesn't feel like he was even deep enough to, like, negate the amount of, damage that he would have been dealt. Hey. Yeah, you're right. And, like, I wouldn't be against him being in the core of the Earth. That would have big Cars energy. But it's a real, like, yeah, I don't buy that he was, like, if he wasn't, like, if there's not magma, or sorry, like, lava dripping off of his body, then I don't think he went deep enough. Because also, like, yeah, we know he can't decay energy. Like, we can't write that off as, like, oh, well, maybe the shockwave got decayed. Like, he can only do physical things. Generating too quickly. And yeah, I get it. I get why she'd hesitate in this moment. Like, this chapter is so perfectly designed to sandwich us with this. Like, we start off with why she cares so much for these guys. We end it with her, having to make the choice, and she does not make the choice. She hesitates. Yeah. Like, there's no other fighter by her. Like, they were trying to come back in. But it makes sense to me that she would, in the absence of anyone else, shift back to, I'm gonna, like, either super strong or can fly. I think there's still, like, enough time for her to fall that she probably, like, just shifted to strong. Like, in the hopes that someone would, fly by and then she'd be able to, like, land on them. I think she's probably gonna be okay, though. Like, I don't, this is definitely not GG. Because fundamentally, like, we started this off with Shigi going, I want to take this quirk. Or rather, the vestige of All for One being like, yeah, if you get this quirk, you're invincible. And we know that Shigi can't decay someone and also steal a quirk at the same time. So, she's probably fine right now. It's possible, but, like, he did literally say, me and myself make better use of your resources. So I guarantee, like, there's no way, if she is dead next chapter, I'm gonna poop. Not on camera. Nah, I'm willing to hard say no. She's surviving. It's gonna be fine. Let me get the shorts. I'm not making a bet. I am not Donuts tier. I am not going to say something that I know I'm going to regret. But I refuse to bet. I refuse. Do we even have the shorts emoji anymore? Like, did that get removed? I didn't remove it. Oh, it is there, actually. No. I refuse. I'm not that. Oh, but I am pretty confident. Am I willing to be a coward? I don't believe in it hard enough to go full shorts. But I will state, I do not think that she is dead. I think we're just getting the big, Shigi tries to suck the quirk out of her, she pushes him back, and skedaddles. What am I doing? Ah, but yeah, fantastic, my hero. Boy, the scale of this fight has been so insane. And I will agree with you, homie, that I don't buy how Shigaraki survived this one. Like, especially since he does have all for one. Like, I imagine there's gotta be a better explanation that still would have, allowed him to survive. He has all the quirks. The move of I dug a hole is not satisfying. Oh, do I put this above Sakamoto? I don't think I'll put this above Sakamoto Days. They were both very similar chapters in, like, the sheer scale and spectacle of them. I mean, my hero being a bit, a bit more intense than Sakamoto Days. The fight was a little bit bigger. But in terms of, like, what it made me feel, I do think that, like, Sakamoto Days did give me this bigger sense of overwhelming force. And to be fair, a bigger sense that, of this character is definitely dead. Yeah, I feel content with this lineup right now. So, let's hit up that comedy manga that I hope is not getting canceled. Okay, let's go. Me and Roboco, chapter 64. Me and Roboco is also the kind of series where, like, I do think if it were to get canned, like, I don't think it will. Me and Roboco is great, and I'm really happy to hear that it's selling really well. But I fundamentally do think that, like, if it were to be canned, like, next issue or the one after that, we might get an ending two-parter. Like, I think the mangaka might do the gag of the penultimate chapter just being the characters going, "Oh no, we're getting canceled." But Roboco is also the kind of series where I could see them, just doing a normal chapter and then ending it with, "We got canceled." Maybe Jump should maybe not do gag manga. Like, I know that the editorial for the longest time have wanted a gag manga in Jump, and I do fully buy that. I do think that, there's something to having a consistent gag manga in Jump, especially something like Roboco where, it is doing a lot of Jump goofs. But even if it's not doing Jump goofs, like, I do think that, like, reading a bunch of Battle Shonen and a bunch of other, like, unorthodox like, shonen series, and then ending it with a comedy is a really good feeling. Like, that is why me and Roboco is always at the end. Like, I really like the way it feels. But maybe Jump shouldn't have 5 competing gag series in it. Maybe that's too much. This is like, what, the third? Is it the third or the fourth Chizuru chapter? I'm gonna say third. But the fact that we still have to introduce him with, "Hey, I have a superpower," is wild. I see Class 5-1 all wants to pass the Hunter exam. I see they have, well, I assumed immediately this was the Hunter exam, but I guess this could also be a Red Hood reference. I mean, that said, oops they all sell is not necessarily a reason why they wouldn't cancel them. Again, I will bring up, what was it again? The series with, the yokai series that got canceled. Like, that sold pretty darn well, and it still just got canned for seemingly no reason. Seemingly just because it was, Phantom Seer. The only thing I could think of in my head was Bone Collection, and I know for a fact Bone Collection did not sell that well. This is also just a great background gag of, Jump is so good no matter what page I open it to. What's going on? I would not say that is my experience with Jump. There's definitely some pages of Jump that are not good. Are we doing a chapter that is just, why is Bondo the main character? It's even good upside down. Chapter 64, Shun and Chizuru. Interesting. Like, yeah, those are two characters that haven't really been together. And also, this is such a weird, like, me and Roboco is usually so consistent with, like, first page is, we're setting up, then you do the page turn, and this is always, like, the chapter title, and then also, like, the reason why, like, it's a gag, and then also the reason why this chapter is going to be called that. And this is, like, I'm not saying this is a complaint. It just strikes me as being really surprising. That, yeah, like, this is the, like, how is Bondo so popular? And it is Shun and Chizuru. It is going to be Chizuru figuring out, like, why do I like him this much? And also, why does Shun, like, why does the super popular kid also really like him? All I want to do is hang out with him. So of course we're gonna get the big, the big love here. Wait, was that supposed to be Bondo just now? This look is I mean, every time we see it, it continues to be wild. Make sure you always think about me, even when I'm not around, Master. Oh, please don't get sucked in. The one thing I don't like about his character is the being sucked into Roboco's like mind and then like living this alternate universe where he, like it was a okay gag the first time, but the second time we did it, it just wasn't that good. And so if we do that every single time, it's gonna be bad. If it does, I'm going to freak. Because, like, with any other manga, I would assume that's just like, oh yeah, the joke is, yeah, Roboco sounds a little bit like Roberto. Fair enough. It's, it's funny that my autocorrect did that. But me and Roboco was such a meta series that I would be scared that the mangaka has found my reactions. Whose voice is that? It's the loudest voice of all. It might even be stronger than Roboco's. Here comes Shun. Yeah, they are both the transfer student, but they've never been in the same chapter together. Truly terrifying. Truly disturbing. Oh, like, I've been pretty infatuated with fictional characters, but I've never hit the point where I am huffing in my brain. That is a whole other level. The levels of gay in Roboco are unbelievable. I tried to hold out, but the only way I know how to communicate with him is by brushing my face against his cowlick. Oh, I get it. I get the nervousness. Though with someone like Bondo, I wouldn't be quite that nervous, because the answer just seems to be read the most recent Shonen Jump and bring up literally any single chapter. Oh, okay. Said anything. I know I told him to, but come on. Oh, this is the exact opposite of when I was reading the new series. And I said, "Oh, this is so relatable. I cannot relate to this." These are emotions I have definitely felt before, but on a level that feels absolutely alien. Please spare my life. Got a commercial shoot this Saturday, and they said I could bring some friends, but will Bondo and the guys really come? Oh, this boy's brain is broken. On, just say it. Oh, they honestly are. Like, I am actually really glad that, like, unlike most pairing chapters where it is like they have some sort of conflict, like this chapter is fundamentally just Chizuru going, you cannot express yourself. I can read your minds. We can be a good combo. Like, I can I can help you say what you want to say because I can read your mind and understand what the hell you want to do. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Squeezy Chizuru baby. Oh, and now this is honestly so much worse. Cuz like having a yandere in your class bothering someone else and then like being able to manage them via your psychic powers is that's a weird dynamic, but it's one I think you could deal with. But being psychic and having a yandere friend or having a yandere who is obsessed with you is very upsetting. Cuz that's really a big, like, you cannot get out of it. And also, I'm very happy we didn't do the going into someone else's world thing. Very, very happy about that. But I am actually really hoping we do that for the the fourth chapter that he's in, because I want to see what Motosuge's like inner world is, and like his voice is louder than Roboco's, so it should be able to happen. Ah, thank you for the daily dose of gay, Roboco. Oh, I mean, it was not a super long chapter. Like the gags were not great, to be honest. Like, it was fun, but it wasn't a, like, laugh riot, and nothing really hit me that hard. It was kind of, it was, I've seen a lot of other gag manga do this exact same sort of plot, and this wasn't done that much better. So while I really do appreciate it, I can't put this higher than, like, Black Clover? Like, I was also on this week's Choujin X, so I feel like that is, like, the lowest it can go. Still very happy I read it, like... No matter how bad the Roboco chapter is, like, it is still just such a good feeling to end Jump with a gag series. So with that, let us move on to the author comments. Mangaka Comments. I've never met him, but he feels like a comrade in arms. I know how tough getting to 100 volumes is, Aoyama-san. Congrats on 100 volumes of Conan. Has Detective Conan not been at volume 100 already? I would have bet dollars to donuts that Detective Conan hit 100 volumes faster than One Piece. I mean, I trust Oda, but I gotta check, right? Oh man, yeah, yeah. One Piece is at right now chapter 1031. Detective Conan is at chapter 1072. So yeah, that's pretty sizable. Oh, it's so wild seeing them both at chapter one or volume 100. Like, it's not that weird, but it just it shook my brain a little bit. I definitely thought that Conan was already at volume 100. And it's so wild to think that, yeah, they are both only halfway to being, as long as Kochikame. And One Piece is almost certainly not going to be as long as Kochikame. Like, like we don't have that much of One Piece left. We have a fair bit, especially for like a manga running in Jump. Like, it's still going to run quite a bit. But it's not like, it's definitely not going to hit 200. Oh, yeah, nothing else is really messing with me quite as much, but okay. I had my editor take photos of the area everyone's talking about, and it turns out I've been there before. Is that the context behind the color page? Because like it wasn't a bad color page necessarily, but it was a real like I don't know why we're getting this color page. Like I'm not sure why Yusei Matsui felt like drawing this. Was it that area that everyone's talking about? As it gets cold, clothes get thicker. I hate that. A short sleeve t-shirt is the best. Honestly, same, except I will still wear a short sleeve t-shirt when it's cold. Like, I will definitely, like, thicken up my pants, but I try to stay in long sleeve, or, like, in short sleeves, even, like, if I'm going outside in the cold. I mean, like, there have been a lot of cases where I need to do some, like, quick shoveling, or I need to clean off my car or whatever, and I have a coat, but I'm wearing my coat over a t-shirt. Just because I'm not a big fan of long sleeve t-shirts, or, like, long sleeve shirts, I should say. Katami Sensei got the second shot. Ah, I'm so thank you very much, homie, for pointing out or like leading me to the haiku thing. Because like it would have been very fun to see this and then read the chapter and go like, oh crap, you're right. It was it was all in haiku. Oh, that's so cool. The idea of Horikoshi meeting up with Kawaguchi Sensei and them just chatting and talking about, making manga, it makes me feel so good. Because I feel like that's going to be a very positive conversation. There's really no, like, I'm sure, there's some advice that could be given, but fundamentally, Red Hood did nothing wrong. I've had my wallet for about 8 years and it's falling apart, but I've grown attached to it and I can't get rid of it. It's too cute. I've never had a wallet long enough for it to, like, fall apart. And that is mostly just, like, when I was a kid, I had, like, a kid wallet, and I didn't, like, use it very much. Or, yeah, it was a kid wallet, and then I got my dad's wallet. Right, it was a WWE wallet, actually. And then I transitioned to my dad's old wallets, and then I went from that to, I feel like I had one in, I had, like, an iPod Touch case that doubled as a wallet. And then I think I had one other one before I got the one I have right now, which is just, generic wallets. Like, I haven't bought into the, like, using a money clip or using something super thin. I like having my big wallet that has everything in it. Damn, Kenta Shinhara. I respect the grift. I respect the big, like, I'm gonna sell this volume 3. Farewell, Yuki Kawaguchi. I hope you do better. I hope that you manage to get a good, like, serialization in the future that doesn't get cut off too soon. Fantastic jump, legitimately. So yeah, that's Shonen Jump for the week of November 7th, 2021. Hopefully this will not take forever to come out. I'm gonna try and, like, edit it tonight, and then we'll see, if it comes out tomorrow or the day after, but I'm not gonna put it out on Friday. Fingers crossed. Thanks for being here, home. Thank you. Who else is here right now? Rondom. Thank you both. It's been really, really fun. Catch ya on the flip side. Bye for now. Yeah, yeah.